Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you news. So what I'm doing here is you can clearly see the title. You know what it's already going to be about, which is Divestor Lane. During the time that I was putting together some videos and thinking about some things, I ran across quite a few videos that threw me off, right? And I'm like, you know what? I don't really think this gets talked about enough, right? The delusion, the focus that always seems to be there when it deals with people having preferences. And in order to have said preference, they decide that they want to speak directly on a demographic, specifically Black men. So, as your friendly neighborhood villain, we're going to look at a few of those today. Currently, I was just waiting for a few more people to actually pile in because usually YouTube gives off some late notifications when it deals with quite a few things, which is a little bit weird to me. But much love, respect, and appreciation. What we got? We got about 13 in here, so I'll do with that, right? Yo, what is up, Bushido? What's up? What is up? What is up? Day is actually going pretty well, pretty well, pretty well. So now I can actually remove the game, and we're going to start with
May or
this
may not
little
be
one.
ready.
We're going to start with this little one here, and I want to know, this is not me trying to judge in appearance or anything of that sort, to an extent, right? But we're going to look at this small clip. I'm going to freeze the picture here so that you can allow this to simmer, right? So you can just let it directly sit there. And now we're going to allow her to speak.
This may or may not be rage bait for some of you, but I like it. I like it. I'm sorry. I think it's cute. Like, oh, I think it's cute.
I want to know whose daughter is this? I don't think enough gets talked about where it fits into delusion. There's been talks online, right, where, well, even within the videos that I'm going to show to you, where you'll have women basically state that Black men want to be white men and that Black men are oppressive. But no one really seems to want to highlight within that same thing, if we're going to, try to call everything equal. How you have those Black women out here that want to be, I guess, comparable or equal to, on the same level as their white female counterparts, because this by itself is a bit weird. I've never at a point in time saw, let's say, about, walking outside 30, 40, whatever percentage of Black men, let's say half of Black men walking out with just blonde froze and blue eyes, talking about this is the strongest and the best that they've ever looked ever in life. Like, this is really the thing to do. Never seen it. Never seen it. Never seen it. But I can go online and I can just so happen to spot videos like this where you have this young person here deciding that this is the wave, that this is the look that they need to do. It is not. Um, like I said, I'm not sure what women are specifically raising or, talking directly to her, but this 100% just is not it. It's just not. And I know why she's going for that look, and I know who she's trying to specifically attract for that look as well too. And I want to note that there's been fields of Black women out there who ignore Black men when they specifically tell them, "Hey, we love your natural hair. We like your natural hair. There's nothing wrong with your natural hair. Wear your natural hair." Those Black men get told to shut up. While at the same time, those same women will turn around and praise men of other groups that will love them and want to be with them for their natural hair, compliment them on their natural. It's crazy. It's diabolical in nature. But let's get directly, because I'm going to start off with this first because usually people don't tend to watch the videos that long. So let me just throw a bone directly out there and then we'll get into the rest, right?
I would date a white girl that looks like Miss Piggy and be happy about it just because she's white, and would never date an overweight black woman but would date an overweight white woman. And then there's those of us that have standards regardless of the race. There's two different types of black American men. There's the ones that would date any girl from any other race as long as she's not black, and then there's the ones that attract the quality women from other races. The ones that would date anybody from another race I call the trash collectors. The ones that attract quality women from other races I call high quality men. Black American men are the most desired men on the planet according to data from POF, Facebook dating, and Tinder. We get the most amount of matches. Other groups of men know we're on top, that's why they act like us to get women. But we already knew that because we're the most copied men on the planet. Let's not confuse the two. A trash collector is not the same as a high quality black man. From preschool, I've attracted women of all races and they were not low quality. They're only dating black.
So we heard that, right? He said that a trash collector, black American male, I just want people to understand, right? There are certain terminologies that people will come up with and specifically brand black American men with. Black American, and I keep trying to tell people that black American men are the main groups that, and supposedly he is himself a black American male. Black American men are the only group out here that really get just random brandings throughout the days, weeks, months, and years. It's always a new name every single day, right? So in one instance, you got the high quality. Let me see if I can, if there's an image of, yeah. So in one image, there's a high quality black male who can just, attract anybody, right? And then on the other end, you got the black guys out there who will just accept any and everything, right? All right. I'm glad we got that directly out there. I just also want to state that I never see this type of conversation happen when it deals with women, because I've seen women with just any type of guy, and I'm like, how did this matchup even happen? I'm like, something is a miss here, but hey, it be like that. It is what it is. It is directly what it is. Now, to further go directly into the statement, let's go to this part right here. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Okay, let me just put it right there.
Attracted women of all races and they were not low quality. They're only dating black guys because white guys don't want them. A lot of white women who date black guys, it's not because we're their preference, it's because white guys don't want the has-beens or the trash of the white community. Everybody knows that black American men are the trash collectors. We'll date anybody who's non-black.
So now this is my question here, right? So if everything is equal, so to say, so black men only get the most low quality of every race and every group, correct? So would that also mean that would happen for black women as well too? I'm just trying to figure that out, because you would think, at least by going online, let's say TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, the way that you have the divestors out here try to portray themselves, they make it seem like anytime they go out, they're just getting the millionaires and the billionaires from the white community. They're just taking the main high quality white men. Those are the ones that the divestors are getting every single time, bar none. They get nothing lower. It's always the best of the best. And I'm like, somebody's lying. I'm like, somebody's lying. Again, and this is me trying to look at it as equal. When it deals with black men and when it deals with black women, I see them getting the lowest of the lowest. That's all I'm saying. I see both getting the lowest of the lowest when it deals with the selections. I'm just going to be honest, right? Just like he basically stated that, black men will just, get the lowest of the lowest quality. No white woman out here is allowing, and I do mean that keyword, right? Because he used a keyword that basically the lowest of the lowest are allowed to be with black men because nobody in the white community wants them, right? No white woman is allowing black women out here to get the best of the white men out here, the richest of the white men out here, the smartest of the white men out here, the white men that have or hold the most power over the country or any other, European place or wherever it is that they purely reside. So I need, this type of like nonsense to really cease. I really do, because it seems as though that in an instance that both groups really think so highly of themselves that they're really getting the pick of the litter, and they're not. Just to be honest. But let's get on.
We'll date the other community's trash. For example, if a woman's overweight, white men don't want that. If a woman has a bunch of kids, white men don't want that. If a woman has an independent mindset, white men don't want that. If a woman has a whole past, like an openly whole past, like a porn star or something, most white men don't want that. They don't want to start a family with that. So those types of women typically date black men because they know white men don't want them. And then we get a big ego from it, thinking that they're naturally choosing us. It's not a natural choose. It's them getting with whom they can get with. They know that black American men are the trash collectors. We'll collect everybody's trash.
So I'm not sure if people remember. There's a divestor that's out here online. She's rebranded herself Soul, or I forgot what her name was. Right? Highly melanated. Did some cosmetic work, and she became a conservative, I guess you could say Republican. And her checkered past was the fact that she was in the film industry, just like the one that he listed, right? And he said that no white man wants a woman with a past like that. That is a lie, because you do have white men out here that get married to women like that. You got white men that get married to women that have OFs. They are clearly showing their bodies directly online. Like, I'm not sure where this man is getting his information directly from or where he's looking. But if you look at a lot of these white girls who got OFs and who are on Twitter showing everything that God gave them, you will find out that they are in a relationship. You'll find out that they're in a relationship. It's not that difficult. It is not that difficult to look at this information and to find this stuff if you really want to sit up there and find this stuff. And like I said, you got a black woman out there that got a checker pass, and she got a child by a white guy. I'm just going to put that out there. I'm not listing marriage in there or anything like that. He said that no white man out there wants a woman with a checkered past, right? More specifically, he said white woman, right? So I guess if you're black, it's completely fine to have a checkered past and all these other. It seems hypocritical. It doesn't even make any type of sense, because if you had a stance, then that is what the stance should be. It shouldn't be no ifs, ands, or buts, because it's another race or color of person, right? Let's continue. Oh, well, I guess that was actually the end directly of it. Somebody said, so do you agree with his statement? In which the way that he put it, I will give it a 50%. I'm not going to go with the wholeheartedly. I'm not going to sit up there and do that, because it's crazy to sit up there and state that, let's say, white men don't want women who have weight. I didn't see tons of white guys with girls who have weight. Like I said, I'm not sure what people specific. I'm talking about in reality. I'm not just talking about on some online time. I'm talking about in reality, looking at marriages, looking at couples, just looking at people, just being in groups. You will see white men with women who have weight. Every single white dude out here is not with a woman that looks like a toothpick. Like, I'm not even, like, this is crazy. I don't know where people happen to look, where people are, who people are specifically around. Um, I'm not sure what people are trying to specifically get their information directly from, but I need people to actually look outside. I need people to look outside. I really, really, really need people to look specifically outside. And again, the reason I wanted to bring up this video is because you have a lot of divestors out there that the exact same things that he is saying. You have a lot of divestors that feel that way and more when it deals with black men directly out here. The only difference here is that he decided to give a half and half type of thing, right? When it deals with divestors, there is no half and half. It's only one way or the highway. That is it. In divestors' minds, black men are purely the negative. They are detrimental. They are demons. They are the child of Satan. They are everything but a child of God, right? So to wait. What was that? Joan Tate, what is up? You said another fake narrative. Uh Keel, hopefully I pronounced that right. You said he's probably a tether. That is very possible. I mean, he said that he is a Hebrew Israelite. So, I mean, it's probably a 50-50. Mind Over Body said their white boyfriends be running that page. LOL. Tate said, how is it that the hottest commodity gets the worst? Doesn't make sense. Yeah, and that's the craziest part, right? That would mean so okay, let's say for let's go for the top of the top. Let's NBA, NFL, things of that nature. The black guys out here making, the buku bucks, the utmost money, right? That would mean that they could only get again the bottom of the barrel. And they would all of them should be basically with a white woman that is overweight, this, that, and the third, and everything that he basically listed. And that's not the case. That is not the case. That's just not the case at all. And again, I'm a little bit confused on why everybody thinks that you're supposed to get the best of the best. I'm a little bit confused, and I don't want people to get confused with the fact of looking at TikTok where you have the divestors who want to dress to the nine when they're with their white male counterpart. I don't want people to get that confused because that is not the everyday type of look that you will see with a lot of these couples. And again, there is a clear-cut difference, and let me just very much specify that. When you have black women out here that are just out here dating, doing whatever it is, and no fuss, no muss, and they're not talking anything about black men at all, I have no problem with you. Completely fine and dandy. Like I said, you don't even register because you're off doing your own thing. I don't have to be worried about you. You're good. When it deals with divestors, they want to run their mouth. And when they have a preference, they want to specifically, like this seems to be the main talking point when it deals with divestors that have a preference. Seemingly they have the same script where it's like, let me start making content and specifically mentioning everything bad about black men in order to let white men know that I am not for that, I am for you. And I'm like, that's a little bit crazy because I'm like, if you got a preference, that should be enough. You're a black woman, that should be enough. You shouldn't need a third thing directly up there in order to state to these dudes out here that, hey, just as much as you don't like black men, I don't like them either, if not more. That seems a little bit crazy to me. But I guess that's what really gets the people going. I guess. Some crazy work. Joan or J1 said most black girls really get the white guys. White women don't want thinking they're better than black men, but in reality, it's not. Ooh. It's diabolical. That is diabolical. Let me hit that user right there because they were spamming. So now we're going to go directly to the next video here. Let me see who do I want to. Well, it's only two of them. So I will go for this lady here. Let me see. Kill said, where are the divestors when one of their own gets unalived by their preference? That's a very great question, and the answer that I have for that is nowhere to be found. They seeming, like I said before, I've seen more content when it deals with divestors talking about black men in a negative light. I'll put it to you like this: divestors love white men, which is cool, right? But they have more content talking about black men than their actual preference. They have more content talking about black men versus the black women out there losing their lives to their preference. Like I said, that makes no sense to me. And this is coming from a person that actually sat there and took the time and looked at a variety of platforms over the years and even ran through some new ones that I had no idea of. And I'm listening and I'm looking, I'm like, this is just a bit weird. I'm like, you're focused on the group of men that you say are undesirable to you, that you don't love, that you don't like, that you don't even want to be near. But yeah, you keep making content about them instead of fully making content about your preference. It's weird. That like, it just doesn't make any sense. But like I said, they're nowhere to be found. Trust me, I've watched a lot of platforms. I've heard a lot of these, podcasts that they got directly out here. Those divestors do not care because they're like, well, That's her at the end of the day. It's not going to be me because I'm smarter than the average bear. That's their mentality, and that's how they go about things. Like I said, it is crazy. It is diabolical. But now let's go into this video here.
To jump down my throat when I said that other races of men, particularly these men, love dark-skinned black women the most. And not only am I here to double and triple down on what I said, but I'm also here to say that I am not fully pro-black. I am pro-black woman. There is a big difference. And a lot of times, like, black men will come into the comments making all these defenses and all these things. But, like, what we have to understand is a lot of the pro-black ideas were created by men who were misogynist. And I don't agree with that. I have total respect, well, some respect for the men of the 50s and the 60s who led the civil rights movements and all that stuff. But a lot of them were really misogynist. I love MLK, but he cheated on his wife with a lot of different women.
This is the thing. Whenever I just want people to understand this and pay very close attention. She already started off by saying, she already started off by talking about white men being with dark-skinned women. Let me just turn again and look directly at her. Nowhere on her is she a dark-skinned black woman. She is what you would call a, let me see, what would you consider? She's technically, she's a light brown. She's a light brown black woman. And she decides that she wants to be on the soapbox and she wants to speak up and speak for dark-skinned black women. If you ask any of the women out here who are dark-skinned, they will look at her and automatically know or basically state that she has a type of privilege because she is lighter than them. So she would be a preference in the black community. She would get picked over, quote unquote, the dark-skinned black woman, so they say. And yeah, it will be this type of like back and forth and rah, rah, rah. Because like I said, if people go online and they watch pages and they talk about the you got the black woman talking about colorism and things of that nature, and if the real ones that are there, if they actually mention the conversations and the feelings that they have towards black women in the black community with different skin complexions, you will hear what dark skin black women have to say about lighter skinned black women and the treatment that they had and suffered at the hands of those same women. So like I said, it's a little bit weird that she wants to be the representative for dark skinned black women. And she then wants to also talk about like, oh yeah, you know, every single time I see a dark skinned black woman, you know, she has a white counterpart and she's always loved and she always has her natural hair and she gets to wear it the way that she like. So is that just like the parameters? So so you're telling me that there are at no point in time in history, there's never been any black man out here who has ever loved a black woman for her natural hair. That's what we're saying. And within that, are you also trying to say that black men are the reason why black women wear fake hair? Buy the bundles, sew-ins, lace fronts, installs. Are you then trying to say that black men are at fault for that too because we don't embrace and we don't love you for who it is that you are? Let's keep going.
I've heard horror stories about the Black Panthers. So my black idea is not architected by men, and it never will be. Now, I'll be honest, most of the books that I've read, like I've read Roots, I've read Copper Sun by Sharon Draper, but I haven't read a whole lot of black literature. So if you have black literature that is created by liberated black women who are not male-centered, I would love to read it because I do recognize that I need to work on my ideas, but I stand by what I said. I see white men loving dark-skinned black women the most.
This is why I call this Divestors Lane, because of stuff like this. It's what you pay attention to. You're going to sit up here and say that you've only seen white men love dark-skinned black women the most, not get married to, but just love, and that's enough. Like this is the bar. This is how low the bar is set. And this is why I said before that a lot of folks out here just need therapy. You need therapy. You had a few interactions with the wrong folks directly out there, and you think that the moment in time that something different comes along, that this is just it. God has sent you a raft since you've been abandoned on this island for so long, and now you can just make it off. No, you're stupid. You're being 1000% stupid. And to sit up here and make this type of thing where it's like, the only men out of all of existence, out of everything that God has created, the only match and the only men that love or that can love dark-skinned black women is white men. Wow. And I keep telling people this. If that was realistically the case, right? There are tons of white men directly out here. They should be scraping and scrambling and scraping through every single black area and gathering up every single dark-skinned black woman like Thanos going for the Infinity Stones. That should be what is happening. The way that she's explaining it, the way that many others have explained it, but that is just not the case. That is not how that works. Like, I don't see groupings of white dudes coming directly from Mount Olympus and going through all of the hoods and whatnot, trying to get all of the most melanated, dark-skinned black women. That's not what's happening. That's not what's happening. Like I said, the delusion is crazy. It just don't make no type of sense. But at the same time, people say that it's black dudes that's out here that's delusional and this, that, and the third. All right. I guess. I mean, I would like to technically say that everybody's delusional, but somebody has to be the villain. As I normally state, and I am that neighborhood villain, being a black American male. So I guess I fit directly within that box, right? So as the villain, we're going to continue on.
When I traveled to Asia and I saw interracial couples, the women who got to wear their hair exactly how they wanted to wear their hair and still look beautiful and still feel beautiful, every single one of them, their 4C hair, every single one of them had a white man on their arm. And I'm not here to say that that's the best form of love that a black woman can experience, but what I am trying to say is, like, the stats are not looking good for black men. So I know that y'all get mad in the comments and you want to talk about how I'm whitewashed and whatever. I'm half African, half African American.
So let's just freeze it right there. You heard what she said, right? She says she is half African, half African American. I'm guessing her father must have been black American. I'm guessing, because the way that her mouth is overflowing with ignorance, I can't be too shocked, but yet it's astonishing at the same time. It's like when you know that the sun is bright and they tell you not to look at the sun, but you just got to look at it. Yeah, it's that type. The ignorance is so bright that you just got to stare at it for a little bit. It's like, wow, it really is bright. It really is stupid. And this is going back into what I stated before, when you have black women out here that I'm sorry, let me just roll that back. When you have black American women that decide that they want to listen to this type of gibberish, they want to listen to this type of nonsense directly out there from women like this. You don't know their background. You don't know what type of relationship that this person has had with whatever. And if her mother, let me just repeat this again, if her mother is African, oh yes, she's going to have this type of attitude because they love white men. It don't matter if it's American, Australian, British, European, whatever it is. It could be a white alien. They love them. They think that they are the closest thing to God, if not God. Like I said, I haven't seen African women and women from other places who are melanated worshiping white men like no tomorrow. It is the most insane thing to ever sit up there and see. And again, for the black American women, these are the women that sit up there and tell you that black men ain't no good. Black men ain't worth nothing. and everything negative about, like I said, she's not, I promise you at this moment in time with both videos, she's not going to say anything positive about black men, but she's going to continuously bring up black men in order to pedestalize white men. And like I said, that's weird. If you are, as the woman that you are, if you are as good as you say that you are, and you are the top of the top, and you're going for your preference, why do you have to keep doing this dog whistle, this bird call, this bat signal to white men? Why can't you just stand on your 10 toes, talk about advertise yourself, right? Put yourself in some nice heels, a nice dress, do your hair, put some makeup on or whatnot or whatever, and just talk about your preference in a multitude of videos. That's what you do, right? Because that's what a lot of black women do on Tinder. Right? Because we know that a lot of these apps, they don't really have black men directly on there. So who do you think that they're getting the most hits directly from, the most likes directly from? Who built the app? Right? Like I said, I don't know. But like I said, you're going to have a lot of folks out here keep getting tricked. A lot of people out here are going to keep getting tricked. Let's continue.
And from Memphis, Tennessee, I know my history, I know my culture, and I'm here to say that I am not interested in taking leadership from a black man. I am not interested in taking pro-black leadership from a black man. I don't believe in it. Now, one black man I think I can get behind is Malcolm X. From what I've heard, I can tell that he really loved black women. And I recognize that. I want to get more into his literature, but I am not willing to change what I know in my gut is true to fit what I think a black man desires. Like, y'all are not loving dark-skinned black women the way that y'all should be.
So so I'm trying to get this together so that everything basically makes sense, because there's like a multitude of things here that, again, just doesn't make sense. She's not dark skinned. I had to take off my glasses a few times. Somebody in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. This is not a dark-skinned black woman. She would be considered in the black community basically having pretty privilege because she is, in a sense, light brown, things of that nature. Some people might say like, oh, it's because of the light and the way that is. Nah. She's basically shining at this moment in time. Like, nah. She would be considered to have a type of privilege over darker complected black women here in the United States, right? And then at the same time, she keeps pedestalizing white dudes by saying like, well, black men, y'all really don't like dark-skinned black women. But the craziest part is she's using that to encompass all black women, and then to further basically state what I was saying, like, hey, well, black men really don't love us anyway. But yet, there's no, for you, there's no us there. Because you're not even a part of the darker melanated black American women that are here. Number one, you said that you're half. You said that you're African. So number one, that knocks you directly out of the whole category, because Africans over there in Africa practice colorism, right? They got their whole texturism going on over there. First of all, y'all got issues with albinos. They're disappearing. They're like unicorns. They're like unicorns currently at this moment in time. And then on top of that, y'all like to sit up there and bleach y'all skin. So it's like, what are we talking about? And then y'all pop up online making these platforms trying to tell black women that, yo, you don't need a black man. Black men don't actually love you. Black men are this, black men are that, black men are everything negative. While at the same time trying to push them towards men of other races, which again doesn't make any type of sense. It's a little bit weird, right? You're trying to put yourself into a box when collectively you are not within that box, but yet you're trying to represent that box and then tell that box that, hey, these other group of men actually love you more than the men of your own. Jesus Christ. Let's just.
Y'all are not. Because if y'all did, we wouldn't be in these situations. We would be able to depend on y'all. Not even me, but like women darker than me. Whatever. It's not all about skin tone. What I'm trying to say is,
How do you say it's not all about skin tone when for about a good 2 minutes and 50 seconds, that's all you talked about in order to justify your preference? Like I said, that's the weird part. You knew that you were messing up. You knew how it is that you started and how you were leading the conversation. And then at the same time, you want to turn around and sit up and say, it's not all about, skin tone. And no, it is. Because you didn't mention your skin tone because you know that you would automatically get picked up. You know that white dudes would be directly all over you, correct? But you didn't want to sit up there and mention that because you knew how the optics would basically look and your conversation was going to fall apart. Like I said, she can't represent nobody but herself. She can't really speak on nobody but herself. Pedestalizing one group, down talking one group in order to pedestalize another group, again, doesn't make any type of sense. If you are the woman that you say that you are, and that all of these other non-black men all over the world want you, you shouldn't have to utter a single sentence or a word about black men in order to catch their attention. You shouldn't have to say anything in order to turn that into currency, but yet you do. So obviously something is lacking in the department of you being the woman that you say that you are. If you got to keep continuously talking about black men while you're quote unquote uplifting your preference. And that's the craziest part too, because a lot of these women out here will sit up there and say that they're not going to pedestalize or uplift no man and all this other type of stuff. And she wanted to basically state that she is decentered from men. Just like the content that she said she wanted to consume. I need content from, black women that are not centered around males and all this other type of stuff. But at the end of the day, your whole conversation is about men. Your whole conversation is about men. The only reason that you can even make this content is because of men. It's like, it's crazy how people sit up there and say that in one instance, people say that they don't need men. In this instance, let's be very specific. She's saying that she don't need black men, but black men are the currency that's allowing her to make this video make money. And the reason why she got other black women that are following her. Right? Like, oh dear God. All right.
We have to reconstruct our entire idea of what it means to be black. Because if we are listening to people who hated half of the group of black people, if we're listening and taking ideas from a group that hated black women, or cheated on black women, why is that normalized and accepted? I don't agree with that. And it pisses me off when I see women defend misogynoir, if that's how you pronounce it, misogynoir. I hate that. Because so you did all this research, all this literature, you read all these books, but you formed an idea of blackness that centers around the black man.
So I'm a little bit confused, right? One of the words that was blocked out in that conversation was an R word, right? Very bad word, right? And she wanted, again, she's listing the most negative of the negatives, right? And again, this is not indicative or representative of every single black man directly out there, but the way that she's talking, she's making it seem as though that is pretty much all black men are. She's basically stating that we don't love black women, we hate black women, we just do everything negative every single time. If a black woman has a son, it's all negative. If a black woman has a black husband or fiance, it's everything negative. Black boyfriend, everything negative. Black leader, everything negative. Black man walking down the street, everything negative. A black man that's been dead for 60 years, everything negative. And all we do is violence and how can I basically use that word without having a problem? Try to really go after black women in the most negative way every single time. Whenever a black man wakes up, this is all he does, and this is what he wakes up to do. That is his only job. I mean, I can point historically to the group of men that have really been doing things to black women, but I guess people don't really care about history. People don't care about those numbers and different things of that nature. I guess those things don't matter, since you wanted to talk about everything negative about black men, and she wanted to say that, oh, this group of men, why would I ever, leadership and listen and all this other type of stuff and be centered around. So you're going to center your as a quote unquote. First of all, let me just break this two different ways, right? She's half black, right? And then she's half African. So on one instance, you dealt with your or a portion of your bloodline dealt with chattel slavery in America, the United States. And then the other half of you, some of your folks dealt with the slavery down in South Africa, right? Or wherever it is that you're from. Or you had to deal with the colonization of Europeans. So within all of that history that is within your blood, your idea is like, no, black men bad. Me deal with white man. Huh? So we go past all of that history. We go past all of that history with Europeans and white men. And you're like, black men bad, me deal with white men. Yay. Wow. That is diabolical. That is diabolical. Shout out to DSB, who has been a member of the channel for a great 5 months. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Also, shout out to any of the other members who are directly here and also a part of this channel as well. Much love, respect, and appreciation to everything that you do, both seen and unseen. Much love, much love. But again, this is why I sit up there and say that when it deals with things or individuals getting checked, stuff like this never gets checked, because she's out here just recklessly just talking. And we're gonna, I might even go back. Do I have TikTok open for that one? Let me see something. Let me see something. Because what I will do is, after this video is done, we're going to go directly through the comments of that page, right? So let me just let her finish talking.
And you are a black woman. That to me is a form of self-hate. So I would rather be ignorant and listen to my own intuition than like take leadership from another black man who hated black women, to be completely honest with you. And we don't even know what liberation looks like for black women being centered. We still have not got to that part of history yet. So really, we don't even know if the civil rights era did us the most good. We don't even know what the best form of community could be, because black women are still being oppressed.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. So for any black men out there, I want you to understand, what she basically just said is that black men are the oppressors of black women. How did she say that, Seji? This is how she said it. During the greater duration of her 4-minute and 14 rant that we're currently, 4-minute and 14-second rant that we're currently at, she did nothing but pedestalize white men for being with darker complected black women. And in order to pedestalize them, she decided to talk negatively and drag black men, all black men, directly through the mud. She then went further back and talked about Martin Luther King, a man who's been dead for a very long time and cannot even defend himself. And she was like, well, look at this black leader. He had a wife and kids, and he was cheating all over the place. Like, he's not even trustworthy. This is what black men sit up there and do to black women all the time. And look at, and during that era, this is what you decide. Word. And then you're going to sit up there and say that you would never take leadership or advice from a black man. This is why, if she was ever out in traffic, I would never sit up there and tell her, hey, man, maybe you should step out of the lane so you don't get hit by a car. I would just wave her along. I'm like, you got it. Over there is Lucky Charms and a pot of gold. You got it. You got it. It's a few 18-wheelers coming. It's some tractor trailers, coming. It might be a Jumanji Stampede running, but you got it. You are a runner. You're a track star. You got it. You are going to sit up there and make it to your greatest pasture. You cannot save and help everybody. And this is what I told people before. You cannot save and help everybody. But what I will also sit up there and tell people is that you got women like this that will drag everybody down with them. And that's clearly what she's trying to do. Because it's crazy to sit up there. How I'm just trying to figure out. I, as a black man, I'm trying to figure out. I'm just going to use myself because I'm the villain, right? I'm just trying to figure out at what point in time have I ever been an oppressor? I'm trying to think about all the times that I've been in elementary school, middle school, high school, and everything. I'm trying to figure out when. I'm looking at the women in my family. I'm like, when have I oppressed them? I'm like, when have I stopped them from like getting, like an education? When did I stop them from being able to get like a loan or a car, having a bank account, a house? When have I told them to, stay in a house, told them what to? I'm just really trying to figure out in my life as a black man, I'm sorry, let me pull that back. As a black American man, when at any moment in time have I ever really oppressed black women? I'm just, because I could swear, ain't this the same demographic that sit up there and say that black men hold no power and can't tell nobody what to do, but then in the same time, we're the oppressors? In order to oppress somebody, you got to have some type of power. Like, do people not pay attention? Do people not pay attention to what it is that they state before they happen to say it? Because how, Jesus Christ, how are quote unquote, okay. So how are black men so out of the whole black community, right? Women like her like to sit up there and say that black men are the weakest link. We don't got no money, no protection, no provisions, no type of survival, can't die right, can't defend ourselves, can't defend the community, can't defend the kids. And we're just incarcerated all over the place, and then we're DL and we're gay, right? No such thing as straight black men out here, right? So everything negative, right? So within all 12 things that I listed, where does it then say that black men have the power to oppress black women? I'm like, yo, this, how do y'all just sit up there and follow women like this, man? How do y'all follow women like this? Like, this is why I really start to look online, and I'm like, dog, it's a lot of women out here that's just birds. Call. It's a lot of birds out here. Like, brother, what? Like, she really think that she's spitting bars out here. And the craziest part is, right, she would be the same woman that will sit up there and say that black women are independent. They don't need a man. They make the most money. They have the most education and the most degrees and all this other. So all of this knowledge, all of this wealth, all of this intelligence, right? And all of this power, meaning the money, right? Because black women have the most money in the black community, right? This is what they're saying. Cool, fine, no problem. So be it. So if you got all of that knowledge and all that power, how is it possible that the weakest, as you call it, as you consider it, as you brand it, how do you say then that the weakest of the community are oppressing the ones with the money, which is power? With the college degrees, which means that you got the education, you got intelligence, you got some knowledge, right? You're able to foresee some things. How is that possible? You got the whole infinity gauntlet and you still getting defeated. That don't make sense, brother. That don't make sense. It don't make sense. Like, where are we at? And you got grown women following this? Y'all really following this? And y'all,
and not seen and not heard and not valued, and I don't with that. I don't at all. A lot of people considered me uneducated when I said that I'm not pro-black, I'm pro-black woman. And I will push back on that and say that if you spent the last 25 years of your life getting educated under a system that was built by men, for men, created for the advancement of men, and you're a woman, I would consider you to be uneducated as well. I would consider you to be completely uneducated. Like, you don't know what your own liberation could look like. So it's imperative that we do our own education. We should all consider ourselves green and that we have to go back to the drawing board, because clearly the system that we built is not working for people. It's not keeping people safe. It's not protecting women and children. And we have to build something that does protect women and children. And so here are the authors that you guys commented for me to take a look at. All of these authors are women, supposedly non-male centered women who have done significant work in the Black community. And so I'm going to list them off here, and then I'm also going to leave a list later.
So question, I'm a little bit confused. Somebody has to help me out here, because maybe, you know, like I said, this is an educated, independent woman here. How do you say that you're looking for authors that are not male centered, and you say that Black men are oppressing you and Black men don't love you? But then at the same time, your main argument is that there's a system out here that oppresses women, especially you, because you're quote unquote a Black woman, and it's male centered. While at the same time, throughout all of your argument and everything that you're stating, you're trying to parade yourself as this pick me, white man, pick me. I'm the good, I'm the best one up here. I can prove it to you because I don't like Black men, and this is what I think of them. And let me make a video showcasing that directly to you. So even though you say that you're not male-centered, you are male-centered. Even though you say that you are being oppressed by a system, the only men that you listed that could ever seemingly oppress Black women is Black men. Even though Black men didn't make the system or the rules. Oh, okay. You got it.
You can screenshot it. Bell Hooks, Zora Neale Hurston, Toni Morrison, Dr. Patricia Collins, Audre Lorde, Alice Walker, Octavia Butler. These were the top authors. So, you guys, I feel as though we should all go on a journey to re-educate ourselves to the matters that matter most to Black women. Not just if you're a Black woman, but if you're someone who believes in the advancement of society. If you believe that we can push things forward, if we could give people peace on earth, eliminate things like world hunger, fix the housing crisis in America and across the world, we can do all these things better if we focus on protecting women and children.
Where did we just go at this moment? Like, I feel like we just went through some type of portal, because at one moment now, you know, she was talking about Black men in a negative light, and then now she wanted to make it men in general, and then she wanted to list books where the women weren't male-centered, aka feminist books. And then she wanted to talk about, oh, I'm Captain Planet, and you know, I just want to save the world. I want to push the world forward. You know, we gotta fix hunger. We gotta fix the housing crisis. What? Like, what do we? What are we doing here? So now you're just a superhero now. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. Because let me tell y'all something. Let this have been a Black man up here that was praising white women and talking about he wanted to stop world hunger and save kids around the world. People would sit up there and call him stupid and talk about and tell him to fix and try to save the kids in his own community. I want y'all to understand that. Let's just be truthful and honest. We know what that comment section would look directly like, and we know what people will sit up there and say. You already know that people will say, like, yo, you talking about saving other kids. Like, what about saving the kids in the Black community? What about, you know, the housing crisis in the Black community? Historically, that's been happening with the redlining and all this other type of stuff and yada, 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 and things that still, right? That's what the conversation would have been. That's what everybody's focused would have been directly there. When it deals with this, nope. People are just like, oh yeah, I'm right there with you. That is a great idea. Yeah, we world hunger. Yeah, housing crisis. What? Man, now you're an Avenger. Now you're a Justice League, card carrying Justice League member. All right. You got it. You got it, brother. Oh boy, you got it, brother. Let me tell you something. So now we're going to go directly over to her page there, right? Try to make that. Well, It's not going to show up as technically I want it to show up because I wanted it to sort of be elongated. Let me see if I can do that. This is why I like OBS a little bit more. All right, so if I do it from the other angle, will it? Nope. All right. So this is basically the best that we got. So you can clearly see her name directly up here, or at least the name that she has for her TikTok, which seems to be African. It's like Ace Anwu. Hopefully I pronounced it right. Again, I'm not trying to butcher it on purpose because I have my personal feelings about some of the comments. I'm genuinely actually trying to pronounce the name correctly. Right. So we look directly through the comments. You got one woman here that said pro-black woman only with a happy emoji. Another one said pro-black woman and pro-black children. Another one said the Megan Thee Stallion and Sierra hate opened my eyes to this. You know, the crazy part is, because people always want to throw in the whole Meg Thee Stallion thing. It's almost like the whole Chris Brown and Rihanna thing, and people don't look at the side of what the women specifically did. They're just like, this, that, and the third, and all this other type of stuff. Again, like I said before, the whole Meg Thee Stallion situation, Tory Lanez basically took, the whole thing due to the fact that one of the women there had a weapon and decided that, hey, I'm going to use this because I feel a certain type of way about somebody sleeping with somebody else. It's like people are not even paying attention. It's literally an argument about two women, two quote unquote black women fighting over a guy. And one of those women should not even have been interested or sleeping with that dude because that was supposedly their best friend. That was their best female friend's guy. Like I said, but nobody pays attention. Whatever it is, it's all good. The whole Sierra hate, the only time that I know of anything basically hating Sierra was very much earlier on when Sierra first came out. You had dudes out there trying to say that Sierra was a man, and that was just due to the fact that Sierra had a very slender shape. She had, button thighs. It was almost like Shakira in a sense, right? And I'm like, that's a little bit weird because that don't make any type of sense, but whatever. Now, the hate that I looked at in general, and I'm talking about from both sides, dealt with Russell Wilson being with Sierra. People were trying to clown him for being a stepfather, getting married directly to Sierra. People didn't want to consider him a man or even a good man. You have black women out here. And I want to note, and this is why I keep bringing this up again, with Russell Wilson being the guy that he got Sierra her masters. That's one of the most important things. Prince and Michael Jackson talked about this. How important your masters are, how important your writing is to you being an artist, having ownership. A football player did that for his black wife. And you still got black women out here that clown this dude to sit up there and say, like, nah, I would never want a guy like Russell Wilson. I could never. I'm like, y'all some birds. Just say that you couldn't deal with actually being with a decent guy who would actually want the best for you. Like I said, this woman right here talking about black female liberation and all this other type of stuff. Russell Wilson did that for Sierra. How many black female artists actually have their masters at this moment in time? I really can't give you any. I'm not even sure if Beyonce even has hers. I'm not sure if Rihanna even has hers. I know that Sierra has something. I at least know that Sierra has something. And that's by way of the man that she married. And that man is not white. Color me surprised. Like I said, diabolical work. Another one said, been saying I'm a black womanist. I care about black women and children only. The craziest part is I see a lot of these women in here that are supposedly black women that say they care about the children. But I'm like, so where were all of those women at when that one mother with her children got jumped? Where were y'all at? How come y'all didn't pull up to Chicago? How come y'all didn't pull up? Because the way that I'm looking at this, right? If you got black women out here that's only for black women and children, you should become the leaders of black women. It's either that or you're going to allow white men to be the leaders of black women. It's either one or the two. You only got two choices, just to be real. And that's by me, looking at a lot of the content that a lot of these black women happen to put directly out, where they say that black men cannot lead black women. and all these other types of negative things. So I'm like, it's either two choices. Either as black women, you lead yourselves, or you allow white men to sit up there and do it. You only got two choices, because there is no God or Jesus in the situation, because God and Jesus have basically tried to help the situation and to no avail, because for whatever reason, people don't want to listen. So, like I said, that's two two other sources directly out of there, right? So, where are the black female leaders? I'm just wondering. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm waiting for, because I hear all this talk every single time about black men not being leaders. Where are the black female leaders? Where are they at? Where are those ones out there to stand directly out into the forefront to be like, hey, I am the leader of the black female majority directly out here. And we're going to do this, that, and the third when it deals with black women in the community and for the children in the community. Where I don't see none of that. I don't see none of that. Anyways, another person said, I am also pro-black woman only. I'm also pro-healthy black love. No struggle love. I'm not even... This is what I want people to understand, right? The first part of her statement was all completely fine. I was good with that. I could roll with that, right? You say that you're pro-black woman only. I got you. Cool. Then you're going to say that you're pro-healthy black love. This is what I want people to understand. Whenever you see a black woman sit up there talk about struggle love, she's only talking about black men. I done seen black women out here with men of other races struggling. They got standard issue jobs. The guy's not making no 80, 90, 100, $1 billion. He's not pulling in Jeff Bezos $1 trillion. He's not doing none of that. He ain't doing none of that. But it's not considered to be a bum or broke working a standard issue job, a 9-to-5, or having two jobs and barely staying afloat. That's considered a man that's trying, a man that's going towards something. If you got a black man that's doing the exact same thing as that man, he's broke. He don't got a job. He ain't doing nothing with his life. He's lazy. He's not aspiring. He's not saving up. He's not building anything. That's what normally happens. Black men are the only ones that are considered, quote unquote, struggle love. No other race or group of men out here, no other ethnicity is considered to be struggle love. And I'm like, wow, okay. You got it. You got it, coach. You got it. Another person said, as quiet as it's kept, back in the day, pro-black men also wanted the freedom to date white women. We've always been an afterthought. Man, what are you talking about? When we look at the black community, statistically speaking, there are more black men and women together versus interracial couples. But it's like when you get on these internet streets, you have these birds out here consistently parroting the same narrative. Oh no, black men never wanted us, even back during slavery, even on the boats. The black guys never wanted the black women. They wanted the slave hands and the slave masters. Yeah, because they're DL, because they're gay. And then once they got to the Americas, in order to fit in, and they wanted to sit up there and be like white men because of the shackles and everything of how they've been treated, they started going after the white women. Oh, my dear God. Dear Lord. Like I said, there's a no-win situation. I just want a lot of black men out there to understand that when it deals with these conversations and these types of folks directly out there, there is a no-win situation. During slavery, they're going to consider you DL or gay, or that you are loving it, like McDonald's. After slavery, they're still going to consider you the same thing. Even to this present day, they're still going to consider the same thing. In all three of those instances, they're still going to say that you've always wanted white women. Matter of fact, we might as well say since the beginning of time, since God first created civilization, the only thought on a black man's mind was white women, and white women weren't even there. You might as well take it back there. You just might as well take it. Matter of fact, let's take it to the furthest extent. Any black men that died, clearly when they go to heaven, they're all with white women. Why don't we just take it there? Like if we're going to be ridiculous, let's be ridiculous across the board. Let's not leave heaven and hell untouched. Even in hell itself, black men are with white women. In real life, all black men are with white women. In heaven, all black men are with white women. Slavery, all black men are with white women. The black sons that you carried, all of them are with white women. If we're going to be ridiculous, why don't we just be ridiculous all across the board? That's some crazy work, man. Like I said, I gotta sit here and consume this stuff. I gotta sit here and consume this stuff. It's crazy. Oh my goodness. Another person said, when I found out that Frederick Douglass never taught his first wife, a black woman, to read or write, she was illiterate until she died. I fully stepped back from most of the black male leaders. Malcolm X is a good one, though. I don't know anything about that story, and I'm pretty sure if I'm to look anything up, there's going to be a multitude of sources directly there. And I feel as though when it deals with this story, that people are only going to fixate on whatever one is the negative one. Because what I'm learning and understanding is that people don't like black men being leaders. White people don't want black men being leaders. I don't care what people have to say about the whole Obama thing. That was just people able to hide the fact that, yeah, you are still racist, but to show that you're not racist, you're going to have a gotcha and an aha moment by voting with everybody else. That's all that was. That's all that was. Like I said, some crazy work. Diabolical. We got Brandon V World, aka Officer Haku, in the building. Shout out to Brandon V World. This man said I got on here and this man turned into Dr. Umar LOL. Nah. Ain't nothing like that. Ain't like I said, it's a lot of the nonsense, man. It's a lot of the nonsense that is directly up here, where every single time, if we just so happen to have black male leaders up here, magically somebody was DL, somebody was gay, magically they were with like white women their whole lives and they were just out here cheat. Like, it's always something, dog. It is always something. And these same people never say nothing about white leaders. You had Bill Clinton out here. And you had black women that was loving Bill Clinton at the moment in time that he was out there. And this dude sat up there and cheated on Hillary live in 4K. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. The greatest line any president has ever said in front of her. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Yo, that is crazy. That's some wild work, man. Let me tell you. That is some wild work. But like I said, wasn't nobody saying nothing. It's diabolical in nature. It's like, hey, the only bad apples out here, it has to only come from black men. It doesn't come from anybody else. You got it, brother. You got it. No. Black, you are correct, but Tippy, we're talking about people wanting to, actually be with that person. Straight black men did not want to be with Bill Clinton. They did not want to sleep with Bill Clinton. They just liked him because of like the attitude, in a sense, seemed kind of cool during the time, and gas prices and everything was low. What black man is not going to sit up there and love a president when everything is low? It's like, hey, gas prices, hey, food is down and everything. Hey, we jamming out here. This man can play the saxophone and he got the shades on too. All right, no problem. That's my guy right there. Right. So again, that's what that was. When I'm specifically stating that you got black women that love Bill Clinton, it wasn't because of gas price and everything were down. They looked at him because he was a man in power and they found him to be attractive for whatever reason. Like I said, the same thing with Scandal. Scandal is a popular show because black women made that a popular show. And it was a show literally about a black woman who was independent, successful, intelligent, got the whole world in front of her, but she gave up all of that. She gave up all of her powers because she wanted to be with a married white man. So much for that college education. So much for making all of that money. Because I promise you, she was probably pulling more money than the president. Presidents don't really make that much money. I'm not sure if people actually pay attention to that. Presidents technically don't make that much money. But she dropped all of the education, all of the independence and everything to be directly with a white man who was married. Ooh, diabolical work. Diabolical work. It's crazy. Oh, D Money said, Seiji said, there'll be 2 thick snow bunnies waiting for me at the gates of heaven. Yo, that's crazy. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Brandon Burrell said Bill had the shades on playing the saxophone. Yep. Shout out for the $2. Wait, oh my bad. Shout out for the $2. Don't know, brother. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Said Bill had the shades on playing the sax. Yeah. Like that was the main thing. It seemed like he was like sort of kind of hip, as the kids used to say. You know, he was hip, he was with it. Right. So that's going to attract a lot of people there. Right. And people want leaders that seem to be cool. Right. That seem to be there. Right. Again, this is how Obama was able to do what he was able to do. My president was black. My car is black. My house is black. Right. All that type of stuff. Tippy said, if I had that power like that scandal chick, I would be with a man powerful, black, muscular, dominant. Of course, Tippy. Lord have mercy. DR said the comment mentioning Cynthia G is very telling. The brainwashing is real. Yeah, be like that. Like I said, I don't have a problem, and I've stated this before, right? And I've seen some of her content, but what I did was the same way I watched that content in silence is the same way I left. I didn't make no fuss. And that's the main thing that I try to tell a lot of black dudes directly out here. You can have a disagreement and whatnot or whatever about, feeling a certain type of way about the content. Like I said, it's not for you. It's not for you. It makes no sense to even try to debate with the women in there. The women, it's already a lost cause. It's like you're going to be sitting up there trying to argue an uphill battle. And the crazy part about this comment section directly right here is that I actually it's further down. It's probably like within 5 minutes down in the comment section because I had to do a video. 5 minutes in the comment section, you'll actually see some black guys here talking about, yeah, I'm pro, black women and all this. I'm like, dog, and that person didn't really get no likes. Out of all of the likes that you basically see in front of you, like some people got like 10K, 3K, and these are other women. That person probably got 1 to 2 or maybe like 1 to 5. I'm like, dog, it wasn't even worth it. You should have just stayed back. None of these women like you. You're trying to put on your cape. You're trying to show some type of love and support, and it's going unheard. You're out here looking stupid. You're out here looking foolish. Why would you do that to yourself? They don't need you to be here. Because the other thing that they're also looking for is for the white men to sit up there and show up and to basically okay this. That's what they're really looking for. Because they feel that that's the symbiotic relationship where they'll pedestalize and supposedly give all of this love to the white dudes out here, and then in return, the white dudes will sit up there and pull up the videos like this and say, like, oh yeah, I support this. I love, strong, independent black women and all this. Like I said, if you go through any of these comment sections when it deals with women like this, and these white dudes are sitting up there leaving comments, all of these women here will fluctuate to that white dude. They'll start throwing all types of emojis. They'll start throwing their own pictures directly up there. Like, oh, what type of women do you like? What type of women are you? Magically, all of these women who are never pick-me's, they become pick-me's instantly when a white dude comes directly in there. And now all of them are competitive, but friendly at the same time. It's the most foolish display I've ever seen in my life. Women falling over in the comment section for one dude that pulled up. Like, yo, it's crazy. I should have actually recorded that one. That was crazy. But like I said, shout out to that dude. He probably got a lot of DMs, and he probably hit a lot of those women at the end of the day, because it's that easy for a white guy. It takes no effort. It takes no effort. Like I said, let a white dude pull up into this comment section and just say like a few nice things, call like the women here queens. It's over. Easy work. Seen it too many times. Another person said pro-black women only. Another person said Malcolm X literally called out the plight of the black women in the 60s and no one else was doing it. There was also more to that. But, you know, another person says, Cynthia G started my journey. Laughing emoji, laughing emoji. Another person said, no, like when I started hearing y'all need to lift up us black men no matter what, I immediately questioned everything because what you mean? I mean, in response, that's what black women say. You got black men and black women out here that sit up there and say that no matter what a black woman does, that she still needs to be worshipped. She still needs to be loved, valued, and respected. So that's equal footing. I guess you're not equal footing, but I feel like that's more of a balance. I feel like that would be a decent response to what is normally stated. But I guess not. Another person said, this is why I love Quinta, because for Abbott Elementary, they had to go out of their way to find darker skinned kids and had to actually train them for acting. What does that have to do with anything? What in the blue? Okay. All right. And no, the reason that you love Quinta is because last time I checked, let me see this real quick. Let me just hold on. Because last time I checked, wasn't that the same? That's the lady that was with the white guy, right? Right? Okay, Quinta Brunson. Color me surprised. Hold on, let me highlight this real quick. So let me just highlight this because she wanted to sit up there and say the reason why she loves, and I'm gonna and this is what I be talking about, dog. All the times that you be seeing women talking about like, oh, black dudes out here be getting, you know, just the lowest of the lowest and all this other type of stuff. Explain to me what it like. Where is this at, dog? Because we ain't doing this. We are not doing this, brother. This is what I be talking about, dog. When people always want to sit up there and try to spin and blame black dudes, for, what's going on, dog? What's going on? The reason that you got black women out here that love Quinta is because she's a successful black woman that made a successful show, making her own money, and she's with a white guy. She's married to a white guy. That's why. That's the main. That's the whole main cake right there. Everything else that I listed is the icing and the cherry. But the whole main cake is the fact that she's married to this white guy, and for all intents and purposes, the dude look normal. He look like somebody that you would see directly at Walmart. And I'm like, what? Like, so how is it that every single time that people always talk about black men getting like the ones that white men don't want? Is this not the same thing? This ain't the cream of the crop. This ain't like a Mr. Olympia or Mr. Universe or something like. And then to go a little bit a step further, let's go into what happened here because I like information, right? So it said that Quinta Brunson was, keyword, was married to Kevin Anick, also known as Kevin J. Anick. However, they finalized their divorce in September of 2025. Former husband, Kevin J. Anick. Let me go back. Clicked on the wrong thing. Occupation, Anick is a successful entrepreneur running a digital marketing agency and has also been reported to work in California's legal cannabis industry. Marriage and divorces. They met through a mutual friend at a birthday party. They got engaged in July of 2020 and married in October of 2021. Bronson filed for divorce in March of 2025, citing irreconcilable differences. The divorce settlement was reached in September of 2025. Privacy. The couple kept their relationship largely private throughout their marriage, rarely posting on social media or attending red carpet events together, though Anick was mentioned in several of Brunson's awards acceptance speeches as a supportive man. I wonder if she didn't mention him because she is a black woman that had a very great show and tons of black people were directly watching that show. And she felt as though that if she would have showed off her white counterpart that she married, that she quote unquote loved and everything of that sort, that would somehow affect her bottom line, aka her money. I wonder. Because that's a little bit weird to me. That's a little bit weird to me. Serena always shows off her guy. Many of the other women out there, they always show off their guy, especially if he's white, especially if he's not black. They especially show that dude off every single time. She was like, nah, you're gonna have to stay home. She was like, yo, this Black Panther movie came out. Nah, this ain't for you. You gotta be back at home with the kids. That's some crazy work. That is some finalize that divorce in 2025. And I want to go out on a limb, and I do know that the cannabis industry does make a lot of money, right? But I want to say that more than likely he was not making more than her. Abbott Elementary is a very popular show. Got some seasons directly under his belt. Highly successful. And I'm pretty sure, as smart as she is, because she was able to write and put together that show, I'm pretty sure she went back with her lawyers and redid that contract quite a few times in order to pull in more money. And I'm pretty sure it took a little bit to get that divorce finalized because, monies were probably being exchanged. But things have to be kept quiet. But I would really want to know, what would those irreconcilable differences be? And who went for the divorce? Did it say who went for the divorce? Let me go back there. They met through, engaged, they separated in December of 2024. Oh no, I would actually want to know who filed for divorce. Because like I said before, at the rate of 70%, you will have women file for divorce with a high school education. It goes up to 80+% once you throw in a college education into, the whole thing. And that's primarily with women when it deals with divorce. But normally when it deals with divorce, people want to sit up there and say, specifically when it's black men, that, that happens because black men always out here cheating. So, okay, fine, cool. Let's just hold that one real quick. So if black men are always out here cheating, that's why, you got black women, filing for divorce, right? It's always just that. So what would they be filing for divorce? Like what? They just fell out of love? They just weren't happy? It just what would it be? It can't be money because they're both making money. So we know it's not that. So what specifically happened in the relationship? Because like I said, Divestors Lane, this is supposed to be the A side. This is supposed to be the winners directly out here. Like this is what is supposed to be the cream of the crop, right? That's what it's supposed to be, but obviously that's not what it was. That's supposedly, what it is, but obviously not so. And like I said before, how many divestors have you actually seen talk about these types of marriages falling apart? Really, they don't. Nor are they going to highlight it. The only most recent thing that was highlighted was what was that one girl? I forgot what the black girl's name was. Now I got to go back here and get some more pictures. Because I don't even know the girl's name. Travis Kelce. Travis, I just got to put in Travis Kelce's black girlfriend. Because I don't know that girl's name. Travis Kelce's black girlfriend. Yeah. That's who it is. Yeah. Let me see. Which picture do we want to use today? Yeah, let's go with the hip hop picture. Let's go with the ideal picture because this is how a lot of them imagine themselves with their partner, right? Like I said, I like to put up nice pictures. Got to put up the dream, the ideal, right? It's crazy how that worked out, right? So we go. It's crazy how we go from this to this, go to this to this, right? So we look directly at Travis Kelce, right? Straight hip hop gear, got the, not even Machine Gun Kelly, type of appearance. What is it, like G-Eazy? I think it was like G-Eazy and somebody else. It's another white boy I seen that got this type of cut. See how that girl's sitting up there looking at that dude? He ain't even like focused on her. He just like looking forward, smiling. She's like, "Oh my God, I did it. I got my guy. This is my ideal. I made it." A black man could never, right? That is the ideal of the ideal, but yet that didn't work out, and Travis Kelce went directly somewhere else. And the reason I got to bring this up is because there was foolishness, because it fits within these same parameters. There was foolishness that happened recently, maybe even like a month ago, or no, that was during like Halloween, right? And the whole thing basically was that the black girl that you see there decided to come out like Tony Braxton, and she redid the video or the little clip of "He Wasn't Man Enough for Me." And I'm like, that's a bit weird. Because the way I look at it is that the white boy is winning at the end of the day. He has two women of different races fighting over him still. This black girl got dressed up to basically dance for him to say that he wasn't man enough for me. Why are you still thinking about him? This dude is basically married. Why are you still dancing and dressing the way you do for him? Shouldn't you be doing that for another guy directly out here? And then you had black women on TikTok and everywhere else sitting up here saying, yes, doing all of this and whatnot or whatever. Yes, Queen. Right. And egging this on. And I'm like, you do know that she's making a complete fool out of herself by doing this, right? You're supposed to be over this relationship and over this guy. You're supposed to be focused on better pastures or building up your kingdom or whatever it is that you're doing. But you're getting dressed up on Halloween to literally dance for him, to basically tell him that, yo, you weren't man enough for me, and this is what you're missing out on. Brother, what? And then you got black women online talking about, yeah, us black women, we got to be like 10 to 100 steps ahead. We're always ahead. Ahead of what? Ahead of what? Because y'all here looking stupid. The white dude is just sitting there. He ain't saying nothing about none of these women. He's just sitting there, basking in the glory of both of these women online doing this. And his name is in the mix. Y'all look like fools. For Taylor Swift, look like a straight clown. People were sitting up there saying that Taylor Swift in the songs was sitting up there talking about black women and look like a fool. Look like an insecure fool. Just like the same thing for the black woman here. That's some crazy work. That's some crazy work. You can't say that you're not comparable to other women directly out here being a black woman, but yet you're out here still somewhat competing for a man that is not even yours. You ain't even in a relationship. You gave that up when you started sitting up there complaining about money, and he was giving you 3 to 4 or whatever K a month of his own money that he was making of his own money, and you said that it basically wasn't enough. You're bummed. And then you went on the Angel Reese show talking about, do I look like the type of woman that would go 50-50? Bum. And like everybody else said, now he doesn't have to worry about going 50-50 because he has a woman that's a billionaire. Money is not going to be a conversation. Like I said, this is how people dig holes directly for themselves. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. And again, because people don't know how to take L's, you got black women out here that are swirlers that are going to sit up there and, be like, they're just going to be directly on her side. They're going to ignore this type of thing. So now they're on a whole other thing with what was it, Love Island with the black girl, Nick Laundria, whatever ship name that they decided to bring directly with that situation, which basically is like a Jack Harlow type white boy that is with a darker complected woman. I'm not sure if she's even black American or not. Wait, let me just show y'all real quick. Like I said, all of this fits directly within the same thing. Love Island. Where is the main couple? Love Island, Nick. There we go. Nick in the laundry. Yeah. Let me see. What's the best picture to put directly up here? I want to use that one. Nah. We gotta. Yeah. We'll use that one. Right. And I'm not sure if people are paying attention, but whenever you happen to see these couples, you always see the black women there deciding to put their best foot forward when it deals with how they dress, right? So this is the whole thing. And again, I don't watch Love Island. I just know about this stuff by way of social media. Because again, whenever it's a couple that looks like this, people all I'm sorry, let me not sit up there and say people. The black female divestors, swirlers, they always put this information directly out there for the world to see, because just like the first video I showed you guys early in the live stream, it was like, the only ones that seem to love darker complected black women are white men, right? But that's not what it actually is. It's just the fact that that's what's showcased on purpose. And it's like people aren't paying attention. It's like I, as a black guy, I realized when I was young, I'm talking about, this is me being a teenager. Anytime I would look at a commercial, I'm like, yo, why they always putting like the black dude? Either if the black dude ain't with nobody, he's just with nobody, right? And he's just walking. But if he is with somebody, they always want to put him with a white one. I'm like, what is that? I'm like, why do y'all do that? I'm like, who said that was a thing? Because I'm like, when I walk outside as a teenager, I'm like, this is not what I'm seeing. That's not the reality. And it's like, I don't know who, and again, black people are not the ones that control advertisement. And again, even in today, when it deals with the ads, I see like, dog, I really wish that I could pull the Fortnite ad directly for you guys. I kid you not, even in the Fortnite ad, they had some random black dude, some random black character basically holding on to a white girl. I guess she fell or something like that, but they were looking and making eye contact as if it was just like they just found love at first sight. I'm like, this is what we're doing in a kid's video game. And I do mean Fortnite is a kid's video game. This is what we're doing. You're trying to tell or ship kids into being into interracial relationships. To what end? Like, to what end are you? I know what end it is, but to what end are you specifically trying to do it? Because again, that doesn't even make any type of sense. Like, that's a bit weird. Just like it's weird in the commercials, right? But on the reverse end, when you have these types, meaning let me just re-highlight. We got these types, and they happen to see the exact same commercials or grow up with the exact same commercials that I grew up with. They don't see that. They internalize that, like, yeah, that's true love. Like, that's something that I'm looking forward to. It's like, wow, I never seen a guy sit up there and look at me like that, because I'm a black woman, and because of my black skin, because of, my black hair, because of my black texture, and because of, my intelligence, my education, and because of this and that. Because I never had a man sit up there and look at me like that. So I guess only white men are the one. Really? Like I said, people don't see the game. People don't peep game out here and see how this is basically working. It's crazy work. It is diabolical, because I promise you, a lot of the ones out here who feel the whole thing of like, oh, black men don't really love black women, a lot of them looked at a lot of those commercials over time, and they internalized that, and they made that vision of that black woman to be them, because they were living through the eyes of that black woman and wanting the happiness that they saw there in that piece of fiction, which is crazy. Which you should be looking for your own piece of happiness in reality. You should be doing whatever you have to do to sit up there and get towards that happiness, or to attract or draw that directly to. Well, I'm not saying whatever, but you should do the necessary things in order to attract what it is that you want directly towards you, right? Instead of trying to live through the perceived view of another woman, and especially one that it's not even real, in a reality that's made up. Because the advertisers who make all of these commercials where it deals with interracial couples are not black. They're white. But, it be like that, right? Like I said, you can't fix some people that are broken. Some people are just all the way broken and all the way shattered, and it don't really have anything to do with black men. But because people don't want to specifically fixate on what the actual problem is, because a lot of times when people actually hate themselves is because they themselves hate themselves. It's not because of, external forces. If you got an internal problem with you and how it is that you view you on an everyday basis, that's a you problem. That is a you problem. Talking about black men, that's realistically a scapegoat. I'm just going to sit up and be honest. Like I said, like this whole thing here where she thought that she was really doing it out here. Nah, you look silly. You look goofy. Use your actual hair, your actual natural hair. This is not it. And for other black women to not sit up there and tell other black women about themselves when they do stuff like this, nah. Because like I said, whenever I see this, I'm like, yeah, I know you're not going for any black man out here. It's everybody else but a black man. I know it. It's automatically there. It's automatically there. But anyways, where was that? Let me add this back to the stage. I forgot we were going directly over the comments. Let me take that down right there. Oh, wait. Did it get added to the stage or didn't? Okay, there we go. All right. So yeah, that was back during the whole Abbott Elementary thing, right? Another person said the pro-black to pro-black woman pipeline should be talked about. I'm no longer pro-black. I'm rooting for everybody black, though. Another person said yes, because when I learned that the Black Panther Party and all of them, such and such black women, as practice for what they said they would do to white women, which of course they didn't carry out, that turned me away from being pro-black, and I'm pro-black women only. I don't know anything about this. For some odd reason, magically, when it deals with the Black Panther Party, I've heard everything under the sun, and magically nobody has anything positive to say. And I'm like, that's a bit weird. So I'm like, the same group that did everything to try to help the black community and propel them forward and also to protect them, magically now that was not even a group at all. Magically, they were just, every single man in there did everything negative to black women, and it was just whatever. Okay. All right. Again, black men are just everything negative under the sun, nothing positive. Another person said emphasis on pro-black women only. Another person said agreed, only pro-black women. Pro-black women and children. I am pro-black women immediately follow. And true indeed, a lot of black men in pro-black spaces use white ideologies and rebranded. Okay. Megan Thee Stallion helped me realize this. She received an unexpected amount of hate. You do realize that the same way that you look at this is the same way that white women look at Amber Heard. Even though that Johnny Depp was on trial and he was able to prove things, and you still got white women out here sitting up there saying that Johnny Depp is a devil and they don't like it. All right. It's like, Lord have mercy. Somebody said, I am pro-black women and black queer people. Another person said, yes, as someone who was claiming pro-blackness in high school and college, I have moved on to only being pro-black woman, pro-dark-skinned black woman, pro-black. What? There's differences. It's not just pro-black. Dog, why does there always have to be extra steps? Like, dog, what is this? I moved away to only being pro-black woman, step 1, pro-dark skin black woman, step 2, and then pro-black me, step 3. This is why black women and dark-skinned black women are backing out of supporting black men from social justice advocacy to dating. Dog, who cares? It's like, this is my thing though. If you yourself know that you like white dudes or guys who are not black, why do you keep consistently bringing up black men in comment? Like, I see this throughout I'm talking about like thousands of comments throughout my years of like looking at this type of stuff. It don't matter if it's blog sites or whatever it is. I see the exact same thing. And it's like, brother, like, what do we just focus on a white dude then? Just focus on the white dude. All right, cool. You don't care socially what happens to black men. All right, cool. Then don't make a comment about it. But you still made a comment about it stating that you moved away and basically don't care. And you just focused on dating. But even with dating, you're still focused on black men, even though you don't like black. Come on, brother. Make up your mind, man. It's like you try to be in like you try to be everywhere all at the same time. You try to be everywhere all at the same time. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, this is the ridiculousness. And then you got the half and half pulling up to the scene talking about heavy on the pro me. Like I said, for the black women out there, like let me just rephrase this again. Again, I'm a black man, black American man at the end of the day. I ain't trying to get you to come back over here or whatnot or whatever. It's cool. Like whatever you find suitable for you is whatever you find suitable. Just shut up. Like I know black women right now that are married directly to men of other races. And they're not saying anything negative about black men. I respect that. I have no problem with that. I'm completely cool and fine with that. Go out there and live your best relationship. It's cool. Right? I don't have no issue. You don't have no issue. For the rest of y'all out here that want to clown around and do this bird call, let me do my bird walk. Let me do my bird walk. Watch me, you marry. Yeah, y'all want to sit up there and do all of that, this dancing and singing? Yeah, this is where I got a problem. Because it's like you can't be like the other black women out here and just mind your business and not even talk anything about black men. You have to specifically talk about black men while you're also talking about your preference, while also talking about that you love yourself as well. And y'all don't find that to be a bit weird, strange, odd? Guess it's just me. Another person said, Women Race Class by Angela Davis. Another person said, when I heard of the Black Panthers and what was done to women, no. Another person said, so just to clarify, white men love dark-skinned women the most. Then somebody said, love us the most. No, just say yes. Just say yes. I'm not trying to see no corrections. I done seen this type of commentary for way too long. Just say yes. There's no reason for you to say no. Because I got a preference specifically for men who are not black men. So by saying no, you're in a sense defending the men of which you say that you don't care about alike. Right? So no appreciates the average black woman's phenotype the most. If they're attracted to black women, then yes. I'm not trying to, like I said. Another person said, the only thing that irritates me about these conversations is that we don't acknowledge that the reason black features are seen as less than is the same Caucasian men. Y'all praising pro-blackness is centered in men, but so is this take, period. So it's like you got a problem with it, but then you don't at the same time. It's like you're trying to call it out, but yet you're not really calling it out. You're trying to state that as a problem, but yet you're not really stating that as a problem. All right. Another person said, I'm pro-black woman only. Immediate follow. Another person said, my husband praises the ground that I walk on and celebrates me exactly as I am. Why would I try to fit in a broken system? Another person, another creator on here who said that black men are the white women in the community, and that's probably the most realest thing I've heard on this app. Really? Black men are the white women in our community. If it's not trying to find a way to call a black man either gay or DL, it's a way. It's somehow some way a way to call him like feminine or something. Like it's always something weird. It's a very weird obsession when you got a group of women out here that always try to find a way to call the men of their community a woman or feminine some type of way and use it as a negative. I don't know. It's just weird. I'm just gonna keep going. Another person said, I'm pro-black woman because white women will understand how it is to be a woman, but not how it is to be black, and black men will understand how it is to be black, but not how it is to be a woman. We genuinely will never be equal. Every discriminating factor is applicable to us. Okay. Another person said 100% pro black woman. Another person said white men are better if you genuinely want to be understood. Like even as friends, I don't know. They take their time to learn how to do your hair and actually want to take it down. I had a white man spend an hour just detangling my hair because he knew I ain't want to do it and did a good job at that. Not all white men, just like how it's not all black men, but a white man does more than just dog. Just this is I want to throw my glasses. I want to throw my glasses. Oh, if these only weren't prescription. Oh my god. This is what I get tired of right here. Stay on the topic of white men. You have a preference. You said that the white dude basically does everything for you. He loves you the most. He does the utmost. He will go far and above and beyond. Don't bring up in a conversation, then start talking about some, well, not saying that black men don't. No, just don't even bring a black. Just talk about your preference. Stay on the preference. Stay on the preference. Stay on the preference. If he is your preference, stay talking about that preference. If you are the ideal woman that you say that you are, you shouldn't need to sit up there and bring up anything else outside of that or that man in order to personalize your ideals. The moment in time that you got to bring in black men, obviously something is a tad askew. On both sides, y'all lacking somewhere because you need something to stand on, and magically you need a black man. It's weird. It is directly weird, and that's where the bar is because he decided that he wanted to do your hair. Now, last time I checked, let me just break this down for anybody in this live stream right now. Last time I checked, when they deal with black men, if a black man knows how to do hair, a black woman's hair, he's considered gay in the black community. There's no ifs, ands, or buts directly about it. He's considered gay. That's what women say. That's also what men say. That's from both sides. So I'm not trying to hear nobody sit up there and tell me, oh no, that's not true. No, it is. It is. Because when is the last time you seen straight black men in hair salons doing black women hair? I'll wait. Take your time. Take 100 years. Take 1,000, as a matter of fact. Because when it deals with fashion, like I said, it's not respected unless they can brand you not being straight. If they can basically state that you're bi, tri, or gay, it is okay for you to be a black man in doing fashion, makeup, hair and nails, and all this other type of stuff. If you say that you're straight and you're doing any of those things, oh yeah, automatically you're deemed to be gay. You're deemed to be elsewhere. Like I said, that's crazy. So now when a white boy basically does a black woman's hair and he takes it down and stuff and he knows how to do it and he's taking the time and stuff, oh, he's the most masculine and straightest dude directly. That's some wild stuff, boy. That is wild. That is wild. Like I said, I told y'all my story to put further proof directly on there. Like I said, I had a girl during the time that I sat up there and dated. And because I grew up with my mom, and I said again, drawn and everything of the sort. And for me, I'm like, yo, okay, what would be the best ways to basically get in contact with like a lot of women directly out here, girls, whatnot, or whatever, right? So I'm like, all right, well, a lot of black women like getting their nails done. Right, going off of thinking about the whole thing of Baby Boy, right? Dude was sitting up there selling dresses and stuff, and women were sitting up there, contacting them. They were loving and all that other type of stuff, right? So in my mind, I'm sitting up there like, all right, well, black women get their nails done, and they spend a lot of hours and they talk and stuff. All right, cool. I can, I know how to draw and whatnot. I can sit up there and do that, right? And I set up that I pitched that idea during the time, again, I was in a relationship. So because I was in a relationship, I was like, all right, this is a way for me to, I don't need to get, close to, women during that time, but this is a way for me to, bring some money directly in there. And then on top of that, she can, get her nails basically done directly for free, right? Because it's in home. You don't got to worry about nothing, right? Kids, you're not, woman sat up there and said that I would never sit up there and date you if you did nails because that's gay. And I'm like, any ideas that I ever had of trying to make things easy or simpler died that day. Because I'm like, man, I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, if that's basically considered gay, I'm just not gonna do it then, because I know I'm not gay. But it's like, you saying that you're not gonna be with me, and all right, cool, no problem, whatever. I was just joking, even though I wasn't, because like I said, in my mind frame, I was like, yo, this could be a very good like business, and this could actually sit up there and work out, and this could really move somewhere. Nope, that died that day. It died that day. So, like I said, I know what I'm talking about. But mind you, now let one of these white boys out here, let a straight white boy out here sit up there and know how to do nails, airbrushing, and all this other type of stuff. Black women would be swooning. They'll sit up there. Oh, he is so masculine. He is so in touch with his feminine side. This is that and the third. He's a real man, whatnot, or whatever. Let an Asian man and Asian dudes know how to sit up there and do nails. They ain't never called him gay. Any other men out here would never get called gay, or their sexuality would never be questioned for knowing how to do nails or anything else for that matter. Like I said, this only happens in one community, and it's specifically in the black community. No ifs, ands, or buts, no scapegoating, no moving the goalposts. There's no other community that deals with this but the black community. And only specifically out of the whole world do black men get branded directly with that. Like I said, it's crazy work out here. It is diabolical work. So, like I said, for a lot of women out there, let me make you understand this. For a lot of women out there, the reason why, and let me just repeat myself one more time. If you wonder why a lot of your boyfriends, husbands, fiancés, or whatnot, or whatever, they don't know how to do your hair or don't want to do your hair or help you with your nails or anything like that, that's because women that they were either interested in, that they were dating, or women in their family specifically told them that that is gay for them to do. I want you to understand that. And the women of their family were not white. They were not Asian. They were not from the UK. They were not Canadian, whatever. They weren't alien. Those are black women. Those are black women that was sitting up there talking to the sons and the men of their family, putting that directly out there. But like, oh, no son of mine better not be doing no nails. You ain't gay. we ain't going. You ain't about to be doing that in this house. Like I said, and you wonder why you got a lot of black dudes out here that's not interested in your hair. Because if there was a moment in time that he might have been interested, he was told that, oh, you gay. And now look at where we are in society. Now look at where we are. Black women sitting up there complaining, oh, black men always complaining, and black men this and black. Well, maybe if y'all didn't sit up there and tell black boys and black men that over the many decades and decades and decades and decades and decades, maybe things would actually be different. Maybe they would actually take out the time. Maybe they would actually sit up there and care more. But because y'all scared them off, you wanted to brand them. Like I said, nobody wants to sit up there and actually talk about how they're at fault for a lot of things directly out here. And it's very nerve-wracking. It is very nerve-wracking. It is very, very I can't stress it enough. Like, it's crazy. Like I said, just think about it. If any women out there who are listening are actually honest with themselves, just be honest with yourself for a minute. If you saw a black man out there doing nails, your main go-to, without him speaking, without him talking, you're automatically going to assume that he is either gay or bisexual or potentially on the DL. You're not going to look at him as a straight black man, because in your mind, a straight black man would never do anything that women would normally be doing. But the problem is, a lot of people don't want to be honest about the judgments that they specifically have. And then within that honesty, people don't want to specifically point out how problematic those judgments are also. And also, I want to put out this as well, too. I just want to put this into the framework, too. For the black women out there who automatically deem black men who are into like nails, fashion, and things that deal with women like that, because they find it attractive on women, right? Because like I said, for me, I like a woman that have like nice hands. I ain't trying to see a woman that got hands like mine. We ain't doing that. Like we gonna have to paint the boys up. Like it's we're gonna have to do something. Like feet and hands gonna be looking nice. We're not doing that. You're not about to be looking like you 1,000 years a slave. We're not doing that. We're about to get everything done, right? The other thing I want to mention directly on it that doesn't get talked about, because a lot of these women in this comment section want to talk about they're for the queer, the LGBT, and all this other type of stuff. For the black woman out there, if you ever deemed a straight black man to be gay, bisexual, or DL, and he was nothing but straight, you're being homophobic. That is a type and a form of homophobia right there. I just want to put that directly out there because that's crazy. Because it's like you're going to brand what you know to be a straight black man as something else. When he's telling you that he's straight, you're going to tell him that no, you're DL, no, you're gay, no, you're bi, and he's never delivered, said, or done anything that even put him within that reference or that frameworking. But because of your concepts, because of your theories, because of your ideology, you want to put him directly within that box. So within that, you're trying to use gay, bi, or whatever as a negative. And it's like people don't really see it, and it's a little bit weird. So it's crazy to do that, but at the same time, you want to say that you are an ally of the LGBT, that you love quote unquote all queer people, and this, that, and the third. It's a little bit weird. A little bit weird. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Yeah, another person said, I am pro black woman for black women that put black women first. Another person said, black men will put males' rights and support way before them being black. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's like, do these women even know black men? Like, have they actually sat down and had a conversation? Like, I'm just highly confused. Like, I'm just trying to figure out, like, how is it possible that when, like, even conversations dealing with slavery, I've seen black women sit up there and make it seem as though that black men just had it easy. I'm like, what? Like, they'll be having conversations talking about some, black women had to go through this, that, and the third, and all these other types of things. And the only thing that black men had to do was, work hard, in labor, and maybe something might happen by way of the slave master. But other than that, they never had to go through even 1% of what black women had to go. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dog. Like, this is crazy. On one end, it's like they're straight victims during slavery and nobody went through it. And then in the next time, you sitting up there watching them at Broadway shows and trying to romanticize slavery. I'm like, brother, what? Like, I even seen, like, I got a clip from a movie in like the 70s where you got like two brothers on like a plantation, and like one of the brothers is going after like one of the black female slave hands brutally, might add. And then the quote unquote good brother just walks out, and then one of the other black women just come over there like, oh my God, what's wrong, master? Like, da 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 da. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, how does this? How this is such a terrible event, but yet we turn this into like some type of like love story where now the same person who is of the DNA of the people committing the atrocities is now going to somehow be the hero. Oh my God. And the person that is going to be right by his side is the black woman. Boy, I tell you. Oh boy. Oh boy. The other thing I wanted to highlight as well too. Let me see. Let me go to the Fallout TV show real quick. Let me see. I'm trying to get this dude's wife real quick. Cause I need y'all to understand something real quick. Let me see. The ghoul. let me see. What is his wife? Right. So within the show of Fallout, there is this man named Dawkins, right? Well, basically he's the ghoul. And again, like I said, they're trying to, push the whole interracial type of situation again. So let me just put this image just in case people didn't see the Fallout show. It's not really a any type. I mean, well, you should have seen it. So I'll just say spoilers. So in the Fallout show, you got this couple, right? Dawkins, I think his name is. I forgot what it was, but this dude is basically the dude to the right. The white dude is basically the ghoul, right? And then to the left, you should know who that is. That's his wife, and they have a child together. They have a daughter. Inevitably, what ended up happening was that the wife sat up there and cheated on her husband with another white guy. Color me surprised. And basically, that black woman there is the whole reason why Fallout even happened. She is the reason why it's a wasteland. So again, to the black woman out there that always has this great imagery of swirling and divesting, it's not going to work out well for y'all because there's narratives like this. Like, that's a terrible narrative. And the funniest thing is when you listen to her actually talk, and she's at this table with some of the basically the world powers, the like I'm talking about the 1%ers that like move and run everything during that time frame on that whole world of existence. She was the main one that sat up there and came up with the idea to basically just take everybody out. Them at the table, they would have systems set in place to basically save themselves and a few of the other rich ones directly out there, but everybody else would basically cease to exist on the planet. Shout out to the black woman. Shout out to the black woman swirlers. Shout out to the black woman swirlers. Boy, oh boy, because y'all could have really just allowed any other grouping of persons to take that role to be the downfall of mankind. You just had to be there, I guess. It's you didn't want nobody else to sit up there and usurp your throne. You just you just had to let this. You couldn't just let this one slide. Couldn't let this one slide. Just had to let it through. That's crazy, brother. That is crazy. That is diabolical. That is diabolical. But like I said before, it's some crazy work though. So again, we're dealing with the instance of a show having a black woman directly up there being a causation or the downfall of something. Because I think in Scandal, didn't the white dude lose his presidency or whatever it was, or re-election? I forgot what it was, but I could have sworn that because of that whole situation, like that dude lost out. I think he lost everything or something like that, or something. I don't know. I forgot. What? Oh man, I probably have to hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I can go to TikTok real quick. If I can find that clip, there's a movie. I'm not sure if y'all remember it. It wasn't Sanaa Lathan. Who was the woman that was in there? Let me see if I can find it. Hopefully I got it. Let me see. There is a movie that dealt. Oh, what is the black female actress's name? Like, she cheated on her black husband, all to have the white dude basically leave her to still be with his wife. And the white dude, because of the black woman, he lost everything in a sense. I forgot the name of the movie. Man, and I think I had that clip up there somewhere. Man, I forgot the name of the movie. I forgot the name of the movie. And I forgot the Yo, crazy work is. Yo, Tippy, question: how long was I muted? Yo, that's some wild work. That is some wild work. I think I might have had myself muted for a minute. Or maybe I might have hit it by mistake and didn't realize it. The family that prays. Oh, for 2 minutes? Okay. So y'all did. Yeah, it says SEIJIHITO behavior. Yeah, be like that. Okay, the family that prays. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, in that movie. Thank you, people. This is why I love having live streams. I can't even type at the same time. That praise. Yeah. Like that was crazy. Where is that scene at? I'm about to see if I can get that off of TikTok real quick because somebody usually always like has those clips. Let me see. I don't know how I didn't have it up there. That's diabolical. Is that the whole scene? Wait, let me see. Yeah, why is that so low though? All right. Cause they don't got like the full scene. So basically for people that didn't see the movie, or at least that scene, the husband found out that Sanaa Lathan basically cheated and he slapped the living mess directly out of her. And she threw money directly at him. And then she also, on top of cheating directly on him, the son that they have, she sat up there and told him that that's not even his son. His son is basically a Cartwright. And I'm like, oh, you bold. You are really in that. I'm like, you really thought that this was like the greatest idea for you to sit up there and do. right? So then after that happened, the husband then went to go see the white dude. And it was a big spectacle. It was like, yo, you sleep with my wife, you sleep with my wife, all this other. It was nothing the white dude could say because yeah, it's true. And on top of that, the white dude is married. So then after that happened, the wife of this guy here came up to the hotel where the woman was staying, because obviously she's not staying at the house no more. Divorce proceedings are taking place and happening, and you can't expect to do anything once infidelity has struck, and it was by way of you, on top of the fact of having a child outside of the marriage. Diabolical working, having that man raise them. Crazy, right? So the wife shows up at the hotel when she thought it was the white dude pulling up. She's like, I'm glad you're here. I had a hard day. And the white woman, she was like, yo, you really think that you got this? You really think that you won? You didn't win nothing. And you're not getting him at the end of the day. And this will be the last time that you're going to sit up there and see my husband. The look on her face. So now comes this part here. And left that woman as a single mother. Ooh, that's crazy. That's diabolical work. She really thought at the end of the day that he was going to leave his white wife for her. Ooh. And I want to know this, right? Right? Let me show you the difference. What was somebody can help me, because I got a lot of movies like flowing through my it's not what love got to do with it. Not still I got a groove back. Man, what's oh my god. It was a movie with oh my god, what I was about to say Vivica Fox. I'm trying to get my every movie is flying through my head right now. Angela Bassett, where she burned up a car. Somebody give me the name of that film real quick, because I got every other black film rolling through my mind right now with actors. What was the name of that film real quick? Anybody? A film with Angela Bassett. She burned up a car. Thank you. Waiting to Exhale. Now, pay attention, right? Angela Bassett, she was wrecking in that movie. She was not playing no games. She's like, oh, you sat up there, you did X, Y, and Z? No problem. This is going to sit up there and happen, right? Cool. Cool, right? No problem. Now, when it dealt with this film, this woman, the same way that she did her husband dirty, she got did dirty. She didn't burn up that Porsche. She didn't burn up no clothes. She wasn't tearing nothing up. She wasn't doing this. She wasn't doing that. She wasn't even trying to go through and actually ruin his marriage. She was technically fine being the side piece. Like, that's, just think about that for a minute. She's a married woman and fine with being a side piece to a married man. How, like, the amount of steps and loops that it even takes to get there is diabolical. And then to sit there knowing the fact of what it is that you did and how you basically ruined two marriages, and to still think that you're going to get a happy ending at the end of the day is diabolical work. That's crazy. And I promise you, on this movie, you had a lot of swirlers sitting up there. A lot of swirlers were crying because they felt that she deserved a happy ending. That was, the great thing. Because let me see, what was that dude? Did he have blonde hair, blue eyes? Let me see this. Close enough. Like I said, I didn't do the caption on that. Somebody decided to put the caption in the middle of the screen because I wanted y'all to be able to see the actual like face of disgust that dude had going through all of that. He has a face of like, yo, none of this was worth it. And then she was like, we have a son together, William. He was like, let me pull out my shades. Do we? That was like that CSI moment. It's like, we got a crime scene. And the dude just pulls out the shades and shit. It was like, that was the exact same energy there. I'm like, yo, that is crazy. Whoa. I gotta hurt, but I promise you ain't gonna put him on child support though. It's crazy. It's diabolical though. Anyways. That is that is the first movie that I ever seen where a white dude literally made a black woman a single mother. I'm like, how was that even possible? I'm like, because for me, I'm like, that was like unheard of. I'm like, that actually happens. I'm like, because people said like, yo, once you got the black women who are divestors and swirlers, like once they get married to these white dudes, like everything is perfect. Like everything is just 100% everything. And art imitates life. Life imitates art. It's crazy. It is diabolical. But we do have, because I did technically want to go over some more of those comments, but I'm pretty sure we already did quite a bit there. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to go here.
5% of.
Ooh, that might have been a little bit too loud for people there. My apologies. Let me take that off 100%. So anybody who may have been listening through headphones, my apologies. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So now we're going to go directly to this video here and check this out. Right. This woman said, I think, what is it up top? I got to actually remove the banner. She said 75% of. Wait, now I got to remove the other part of the banner. Hold on. Let me see. So media assets. Okay, 75% of women of color have never been married, and she's basically going to tell you why. And I just want to preface this by saying that this woman is going to state that she is not into swirling or divesting, whatever. But pretty much this is a divesting video that she's doing. So again, it doesn't make sense. And the same negative rhetoric is going to be stated and talked about again. Let's go.
75% of women of color have never been married. And I'm going to give you 3 reasons why this actually is truth. And before I get into this, let me just tell you, y'all probably going to get mad at me on this one too. I did a previous post and many of the men kept commenting, we're the prize, we're the prize, we're the prize. Maybe that is so sassy to me. I'm just going to be very transparent about that. I think it is very sassy.
So again, I just want to highlight this just for anybody who thinks that I, as the villain, I'm just trying to say anything about black women that I can just to vilify them. No, I'm not. I'm the villain. So it's impossible for black women to be the villain, right? They have to be angels, angelic, anything closer to God, right? When dealing and talking about specifically these divestors and swirlers, right? She herself, with the melanated face that she has and the microphone that she has, basically for any black man out there, if you don't understand what sassy means, she, as the woman that she is, called you gay. If you feel that you are worthy of being in a relationship or whatever it is, prize, whatever wording that you want to sit up there and use, she's basically saying if you say anything of that extent, you are gay. Your sexuality is highly questionable. Like I said before, women like this would never say that towards their preference, which are white men. I've never seen black women who are swirlers and divestors deciding to, at any point in time, ever question the sexuality of a white male, even if he was in a dress on Halloween. Let's keep going.
And the truth is I don't know if y'all understand what y'all are saying. So let me break down 3 reasons. So the first reason is because of incarceration. 13% of the population in the United States is made up of black men. And out of that, 13%, we're talking about when it comes to prison and jail, 37% is black men. So that means while we're already the minority, we then become the majority in jail. A lot of us are locked up, and I'm just not a girl that's about to go meet a man in jail. Okay, we're not doing that. Now, the second reason why a lot of women are single is because we are making more money. I'm just being honest, y'all. We're making more money. More of us are making over 6 figures than our male counterparts. And the truth is a lot of my 6-figure honeys, they don't want to date men that make less than them.
So hold on before I get directly into that. So I see you, Gail. I see you, Gail, and Tippy, right? Y'all said that it is pretty questionable, right? But within the same bounds, wouldn't that also be called homophobic? Because again, she's saying, and I'm talking about the woman directly in front of the screen. She said that black men are basically gay if they basically say that they are the prize. But at the same time, black women are supposed to be the ones really holding it down for the gay community, for their gay sons, for their gay brothers, for their gay best friends. Go best friend, go best friend. That's her best friend. Going out to these pride events and everything of the sort. Wouldn't that be homophobic? Because you're using gay as a negative when you want to point it towards straight black men. So it's like I said before, I'm not sure why people don't see that and why people actually keep doing it and then say that they're an ally of the LGBTQ plus IA Alpha Gold Rainbow Edition Commission. I don't understand it. I'm a little bit confused. Tippy, go. This is what I would sit up there and tell you, because you've been here long enough and you've seen me cover some stuff for quite some time. So go online and look up matter of fact, Tippy, I think you should have been there when I posted when I did the live stream, and it was in New Orleans, and you had all of these dudes out there wearing dresses, and there were tons of black women. Tons, and I mean tons of, because it's New Orleans, tons of black women directly out there amongst the black men who are wearing dresses, being supportive, loving, dancing, all of this stuff. Not one of them were sitting up there talking about, oh, this is ridiculous, this is that. No. None of that was happening. They were all loving and they were all supportive. So again, when I look at the black community, right, the main ones, usually it's the black males, the black fathers that are saying like, hey, they're not trying to push any of that stuff, right? But at the same time, they're also like, hey, if this is who you are, it is what it is, right? But we ain't about to make no fuss, no muss, directly over it, right? That's normally what guys do. To the further extent, people always want to bring up the further extent, where it's like the dudes that be sitting up there like acting out of the way and doing all of this hyper type of stuff for like no reason, right? Again, I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the basic everyday, right? So because the men are like, hey, we're not about to sit up there and just put this directly out there like this is the thing. It's cool if that's you, but we're not about to put this out there as if this is the thing to do. The ones that step up, the ones that body block, the ones that shield, the ones that will pedestalize, the ones that will advocate for, such as getting their sons' nails done, allowing their sons to wear women's clothes, girls' clothes, get their hair done, get all types of wigs and makeup on. It's the women. So it's like, I'm not lying about this. Case in point, when black women go to get their hair done at some nail salons and whatnot, you got gay black men. I'm sorry, let me just recorrect that. You got black gay men who are doing it. You got black gay men who are in fashion that will dress women to the nine. You got black gay men who are in makeup that will do your makeup. Black gay men who are sitting up there doing your hair. So like I said, irregardless on how it is that people want to sit up there and say that they're not supportive, you are supportive, because those same men are within the industries that cater specifically to you, and they're the ones doing the things working on you. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, because it's not straight black men that's out here at these pride events. It's not straight black men that I sit up there and see on these pride commercials side by side with people and all. It's not. We pretty much stay directly to ourselves. Like, yo, you do what you do, is cool, whatever. It don't got nothing to do with me. That's usually how we deal with it. Everybody else is like, nah, we got to sit up there. We got to show up. We got to show out. We got to let this. And I'm like, all right, whatever. You got it. Like I said, do what you want to sit up and do. All I'm sitting up there saying is, what needs to be called out as a fact is that anytime a black woman wants to sit up there and call a black male DL, gay, or sassy, that is homophobic. Even though the same black woman want to call black men homophobic, but yet you're doing the exact same. You're doing the exact same thing. You're doing the exact same thing, but you're doing it openly, and it's like it just seems like nobody is really calling it out, which is crazy to me. Because let black men sit up there and do that towards black women. Everybody's calling out, you're misogynistic, you're homophobic, you hate women, you hate the kids, you hate the black community, you hate yourselves, you hate your mother, you hate the ancestors. It's everything. Everybody got a voice. Everybody has something to say then. But now when it's this, nothing. But now the other thing that she set up there and listed, she said that black women who make a lot of money don't want to date black dudes who don't make nothing, who are working standard everyday jobs. Like I said before, I mean that's cool. As women want to sit up there and call it dating down. Tiger Woods is, let me use the female terminology, right? Dating down. Tiger Woods is always dated down. Jeff Bezos dated down. Bill Gates dated down. I can list you a lot of rich men, wealthy men of a multitude of families that have quote unquote dated down. But again, that's not what guys say. There's tons of dudes out here dating broke women, but women don't consider themselves broke, even when they're with. This is the craziest part. You got a lot of women out here that are actually broke, but they can date a man with 2 jobs, but still turn around and call him broke. Yeah. That's the society that we live in currently at this moment in time. It's diabolical work. The hoops and loops that people do. The hoops and loops. So within what it is that she wanted to basically state, that those women don't want to date, black men that they consider broke, even if they're working a standard job or 2 standard jobs. This is why a lot of women are single in the black community. I'm just gonna be real. Black men will sit up there and give a woman with a standard issue job or no job and several kids a chance, a shot. But the moment in time that you got a black dude that's sitting up there working 1 job or 2 jobs and you got a college education, nope, you're broke. You don't really got nothing for me. You can't do anything. I'm trying to elevate myself. You're just working these 2 standard jobs. I can't do it. Yo, people make themselves single, dog. People make themselves single. Like this is some crazy work though. Crazy work.
And most men that make over 6 figures or, are doing very well financially, they either don't want to date their race, or they're already married. Or if you're an older woman who is a little bit more established, they're not trying to date older women. And so then we result to just having a little fun boy. And then people got a problem with that. But I ain't even going to get into that. That's another conversation. The third reason why a lot of women of color are staying single is also because it's a lot of DL situations going on. I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia, baby.
So again, anytime for anybody out there, when you have DL or they're talking about situations of gay, they're only talking about black men. She wants to say women of color, which again makes no sense because you're trying to you're putting Indian women in there, you're putting Latin women in there, you're putting Asian women in there, you're putting white, like you're putting so many different women in there, it don't even make sense. So are you saying that you're in competition with all these other women for black men? I think not. So this is why I tell people that you need to be if you have an intent, you need to be very, very specific. Just say that you're speaking on and for or representing black women, how it is that they view and combine words, view and feel about the dating market. And these are the negative things that you got to say about black men. Just easily say that. It just makes it a lot easier to follow. So people don't have to just try to figure out and be Professor X and try to read minds and read in between the lines. Makes it very simple, right?
I got a couple of gay friends where all they do is date heterosexual men.
So we heard that, right? 3 things at once. So number 1, she called black men sassy, which is basically homophobic. Now she sat up there and said, while looking directly to the left of the screen, which technically it's the left of the screen, but it's actually her right. She's sitting up here saying that she has gay friends. So going back to what I said before, black women support the gay community. She just said as a black woman, she supports the gay community because she has gay black friends. And then she went on to state that her gay black friends date straight men. Champion, those are not straight men. They may be bisexual. They may be bisexual, but those are not straight black men. Let's continue.
Now, me personally, that's not a heterosexual man. A man that wants to sleep with another man is not a heterosexual, even if he is married. I feel like that is the ultimate betrayal. That is still cheating. Cheating to me is the ultimate betrayal, whether it's with a man or a woman. But there are more men out here. I've gone to a couple of the gay clubs and seen people, and I'd be like, what is he doing in here? I'd be seeing him at the gym. And so it's a lot of men out here that are just not available for us.
So the thing I also want to note as well too is that you have, if it's dealing with like Atlanta, well, I'm not even going to specifically speak on Atlanta. In general, you have women out here who are in relationships with guys who they know are gay because they don't want to be alone. She doesn't want to talk about that though. As the woman that she is, she doesn't want to talk about that. And I've brought that up in other live streams as well, too, because of comments that black women are like, well, I don't really want to be alone. So, I'm thinking about being in a relationship with, my gay best, male friend because, we're both into the same things, and all this other types of things. And it's great to talk with and all this. Yeah. You got a lot of these women out here that are in a relationship with one of their gay friends because they don't want to be alone. So this is what they decide to do. It's not the fact that the dude is DL. It's not the fact that the dude is hiding or cheating. It's the fact that that woman is in a relationship with a dude that she knows is gay and is interested in men. Let's keep going.
And so what are we to do? Well, I do have a couple girlfriends that have gone outside of their race and they enjoy it. Me personally, though, it's just something about a black man that I love. I love the fact that I can understand what he deals with on a daily basis, that I can relate to him. It is just something about that. And unfortunately, while we are so loyal to our black men are more disrespectful to us than any other nationality, and they are quicker to go outside of the race. What are your comments and what do you think? I would like to know.
Social media.
Jesus Christ. So again with the whole narrative again, black men are the quickest to, go outside of the race and this, that, and the third. Have y'all not looked at like the Africans? Have y'all not looked at Africans? Have you not looked at these dudes in Jamaica? They out there with every woman around. Like, those are the two groups that are literally with every woman from around the world, literally, because women from around the world go to Jamaica and they go to Africa to be with those men. But people turn around and be like, out of the whole planet, black men are the ones that sit up there and date out the most, and they're just always with every other woman. What? There's not even a lot of us out here. There's not even a lot of us out here. Where are the stats at? Because when I look at stats and when I even look at society, I see more black men and more black women together in relationships creating kids than anybody else. I'm talking about versus in comparison to interracial relationships. So I'm like, where are people getting these numbers from? Where are people getting these numbers from? I'm like, where specifically are people even looking at this moment in time? I'm like, dog, this is just so crazy, man. This is just, that narrative to me is just so wild every single time. And like I said, and truth be told, again, black men are the only group on the planet that get told that, I kid you not, when black women sit up there and look at a lot of black dudes out here, they'll sit up there and be like, oh, I can tell he date white women. Huh? I literally gave y'all a video directly on that before. What was it? With Black Boy Max, where that 40-year-old woman, that model, came out of the blue, and she was talking about a 22-year-old talking about like, yeah, I can already tell he don't like black women. How his girlfriend is black, ma'am? What are you talking about? You too old. You too old. You too old. You are too old to be doing anything stupid like that. Like I said, it's nerve-wracking, man. It's nerve-wracking. Like, it's wild. Like, it's and it's crazy. It's like, to say that and to know the fact that you're talking about somebody that you're not even interested in, and you're automatically going to brand them as like, oh, we already know, or I already know that you date white women. How do you didn't even have a conversation? You didn't even try. You just automatically assume, which makes no sense. Dog, this, like I said, it is nerve-wracking. It is crazy. It is crazy. For me, I feel like it's just projection. Like I said, if black women out there really want to sit up there and date white boys, that's cool. Go out there and do it. Like I said, for me, I don't care. It's like I just don't care. I'm just not trying to hear later on the white dude comes out online, 5 to 10 years from now, talking about his experience of dating black women and how it is that, they wanted to say this, that about black dudes in a relationship. I got videos about that too. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like that. Matter of fact, I think I showed y'all a video like that. It was a comedian that was sitting up there talking about it. And I'm like, wow. That is some diabolical work. But anyways, let's keep going.
Out of their race and they enjoy it. Me personally, though, it's just something about a black man that I love. I love the fact that I can understand what he deals with on a daily basis, that I can relate to him. It is just something about that. And unfortunately, while we are so loyal to our black men are more disrespectful to us than any other nationality, and they are quicker to go outside of the race.
So now going back to that, because I'm glad I actually pulled it back there, because there was another part that I missed. I feel like everything that she just said was a backhanded compliment, because her whole conversation was negative towards black men, but she wanted to make it seem like she's representing black women and their rights to divest. Again, anybody is free to date whoever it is that they want to date, right? Fine, no problem. But then making a video to advertise divesting, while at the same time talking about my standing ground is I am for black men and I love, ma'am, just date white dudes. It's cool. It is all right. It is all right. All of that nonsense that you talking right now don't even matter. It's like what's the main thing that black women normally talk about? What they call them? They call them hoteps. The black dudes that always talking highly positive about black women, and then people be like, but those be the main ones dealing with white women. Yeah, I feel like this is the same thing here. She's saying all of this stuff, and realistically, she wants to be with the white dude. She cares more about the optics, so that's why she's not doing it. And I'm like, you're a black woman at the end of the day. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. You're gonna get praise from everybody. You're gonna have gay black men that's gonna praise you. You're gonna have other black women that's gonna praise you. Even black women who are in relationships with black dudes, they're going to sit up and praise you. Like you're not going to lose. You're not going to lose. So, I mean, you might as well just do it. Shout out to Nike and Shia LaBeouf. Just do it. Like I said, don't put up this front like you're just trying to save yourself for the right black dude. You're not. It's okay. Go to where you feel that it is going to treat you better. Go do it. It is a-okay. Let's continue.
What are your comments and what do you think? I would like to know.
Social media and dating apps have destroyed dating. Anybody still trying to find somebody through those avenues? Cooked. Absolutely cooked. I still continue to get comments like this on a video I posted a few months ago about, jokingly, but I'm being actually very serious, suing Hinge, because that algorithm I feel like is so anti-black, and based on the hundreds of comments of other black women who are having the exact same experience, something is awry. Now, I have been slow to post a response to all the comments I received on that video. It blew up more than I expected because I am no longer on the dating apps. I'm actually taking a very, very cool hiatus from dating because it's just so bad. Why does a dating app have an option to have, I'm figuring out my dating goals, I'm looking for something short term? Like, I'm not looking for that. And it seems like every guy on there is looking for that. But I do have some very good friends who are still actively on the dating apps, who are still trying to find the love of their life. They are black women. They are successful. They are well-traveled. They are multifaceted. They have so many hobbies.
So I got a question. She said those black women are successful. They have hobbies. They're educated. They're well-traveled, but they're still dating. That doesn't make sense. You have all of these things, but yet all of those things have not netted you a man. You're well-traveled, which means that you went all around the world. So all around the world, right? So if you did that, so there means that you should have dated men or been around men that saw you. But obviously, all of those accolades that you got that you deem to be important are not seemingly important to those men directly out there. And the only thing that those accolades are important to are just other women. I think people are still not getting or understanding that men don't care about all, like I said, all of the other stuff that women have, like, it's cool, like that's dope for you. Men ain't looking for all of that. It's like that's not the most like important thing. It's like, yo, those are pluses, those are great add-ons, but it's like you as a woman is what attracts a guy. It's not like, hey, educated, entrepreneur, independent, $1 million, Fortune 500. Like you're putting all of that in front of you that the man has to basically look at before he basically looks at the actual woman. And it's like a lot of women don't understand. It's like, dog, you're doing it wrong. You can't play the same games that guys basically do. Guys have to basically show that they can afford a woman, that they could provide for a woman, that they could do this and that. Guys have to basically bring all of that to the quote unquote proverbial table. Guys have to do that. That's what we've initially always had to do. If we weren't, basically saying about words, we had to literally show what it is that we could do. We had to, back in the days, before social media, internet, all that, women had to come directly to a home. And you had to basically look at it, that way. You had to, look at the man's actions, the hard work ethic, and all of these other types of things. Like I said, for women, you can't do that. It is two different worlds. Like, brother, I don't know. Let's keep going.
They are like the most fascinating, most beautiful, and incredible people I have ever met. And the app is continuing to feed them the most vile, unemployed, non-serious, hypersexual, scary men like I've ever seen in my life. And I emphasize on them being black women because, yeah, the dating apps seem to be bad for everybody, but I see the experience of my white counterparts on the app. Some of my girlfriends who are white, their app looks completely different. The men they are getting shown completely different. And on top of that, they have an equal parts white men liking them, and the rest of the men are men of color, right? Black men, Asian men, Indian men, all the types of men. So I don't want to open Pandora's box of like, well, yeah, because they don't date black women and they only want to date white women. And I had a lot of those men on my video trying to push that narrative that no one wants to date black women. I rebuke that narrative so heavy. Yes, there is a bunny hopping epidemic, but to like spew out nobody wants to date black women, yes, it is harder for us. I 100% know that. I know dating as a black woman, it is harder, but I know there are black women who have found success pre-2023. I think that's when the apps really took a nosedive.
So again, like I said before, the thing that she is not mentioning is the fact, again, she's on Tinder or whatever these other apps are, and it's the fact that you are black and you are specifically on a white-owned app, white-owned algorithm, white-owned dating, and all of those things, and you expect that you're going to be this main thing, this main go-to that people are automatically going to search up and go directly for, or automatically take you seriously. And the main thing that a lot of guys, black dudes, have stated is that, yeah, what's going to happen is that they'll basically see you. Like some of them, a few of them might have a little bit of success getting a date, getting married, and things of that nature. But then also at the same time, a lot of those guys, they'll sit up there and look at the black girls and be like, oh, you want to just go out, have some fun. They're not even going to sit up there and take you serious. You can be as educated as you want to be, as independent, as much money as you want to sit up there and have. But it don't matter to those guys. They're just looking at you as something to play with. They're looking at you as a type of stereotype, because at the end of the day, they'll sit up there and play around, but then they'll go back to their community and they'll get married to the women that are specifically there, aka Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift. It happened, right? AKA Machine Gun Kelly with Megan Fox. It happened. And Machine Gun Kelly actually has a child with a black woman. And and he left that all to the wayside. Like I said, people tend to forget these things, but I don't, because I covered these. Crazy work. Let's keep going.
Didn't find anyone before 2023. It's like finding a needle in a haystack there. But in the real world, more success than on the dating app. But something about the dating apps just seems so anti-Black, and it really pushes this experience. I just feel like dating apps and social media have destroyed the sense of dating. First off, apps being anti-Black, but second, nothing is natural about being able to swipe right, swipe left, and decide on how to pick a partner. Especially when now a lot of the men left on the dating apps are not looking for partners. They're not looking for anything serious. They're looking for like the quickest little way to get their pee-pee wet, and then they go on about their day. And then social media, there's literally men out here who like to use social media.
All right. So can we just, I just like to equal this out, right? So the main narrative that always happens is that people want to make it seem like the most sexual beings, or the only beings out here that focus on sex, are just the guys. And that is a complete lie. Because a lot of the women directly out here on these dating apps, they go for what they deem to be the most physically attractive guys. And if they were able to actually get that most physically attractive guy and that dude wanted to sleep with them, they would allow that dude to sleep with them. So it's like people just don't want to be honest. Guys are in a sense honest. Like guys will sit up and yeah, I'm just on this dating app to see, what it is that I can get. You got women on these dating apps trying to make it seem like, oh no, I'm just looking for love. I'm looking for bonds, relationship. I'm looking for the future. But I'm like, so you've been looking for the future for about a good 20 dates. About to be heading towards 30. There's quite a few bodies there. What futures have you seen there? Because Dr. Strange saw a lot of futures, but only one was the one where they actually won. So I'm like, so how many more futures do you need to see in order for you to finally actually get that one? Because I'm like, that's a lot of bodies that's adding up at this moment in time. Because like I said, it's crazy to sit up and say one demographic is only solely focused on sex, and then the other demographic is only solely focused on the relationship. I'm like, nah, brother. We ain't gonna do that. We're not going to do that here. Like I said, I like to try to make things as even as possible, because again, a lot of people don't like to be honest. But let's continue.
As a gauge of how to perceive you before actually taking you out. I had a man literally tell me from a dating app he wanted to get my social media because he said that's a sense of getting to know how you carry yourself as a woman. And I'm like, what? My social media grid that I don't post that often on, it's going to tell you what you need to know about me. It's like brain rot. Like men who literally think like this, it feels like there's more of them than they're not. You have to find a man at this point with no digital footprint. I think that's the only way. Find a man who hates the dating apps, and find a man who is not on social media, and cross your fingers that everything else about him seems to be normal, because there's nothing more terrifying than a man who's actively on Instagram and then they are on every single dating app. Like, I've seen men from the dating apps from 2021 when I first moved to Chicago. They're still on there. Same exact photos from like 5 years ago.
So I'm confused, right? So this woman does not, and again, the crazy part is she's on social media, but she's sitting up here saying to find or to get a guy that's not on social media and all of these dating apps. But she's on all of these dating apps. She's on social media. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any. So you can come out here on social media, make money about your grievances and talk about men and all this other type of stuff, right? Negative. But when a guy would be to do the exact same thing, now it's something that shouldn't be done, and that's not the type of guy that a woman should look for. What do we? So okay.
It's so weird. It's so scary. It's so bizarre. And I really feel like there needs to be somehow a class action lawsuit against these apps, or like everyone either needs to download them completely or they need to run out of business, because they've ruined everything. Like, our generation is so cooked, so fried, and I wish dating apps never existed.
Did a white man just walk up to me in the gas station and ask me if I was up? What y'all be saying? Put a finger down? Put a fist up? Let's get into it. So I go into the gas station to get something to drink, and the manager there. That's my little catch-up buddy up there. So we start talking, and a while ago, I put her onto Ethic. If you know, you know. It's just the clock. I tried to be trendy. Just let the moment pass. So anyway, so she started reading it. She's already on book 4. And so we standing to the side talking, and we're talking about what happened and what's about to happen next. And then she starts talking to me about these other books. And then 2 white men walk in the store. Them being white really matters. So Flip Flops immediately looks at me and says, "Oh my God, I love your hair. Can you do my hair like this?" And I'm like, yeah, and y'all think I'm funny. So I'm already coming up with my little joke or whatever. And when it comes to cross-cultural relativity, I have a lot of grace for people. Like, I know sometimes white people will say things about black people's hair. It's like they want to give a compliment and show acceptance or awareness. I don't know. So it's not always executed perfectly. So it's, I'm patient. So he starts asking me all these questions about the hair, and then he tells me a story about one of his guy friends whose mom used to braid hair back in the hood. It took me right to the hood. Okay. And so now the compliment is going downhill. And he's like, yeah, because y'all always have some type of crazy hairstyle. I love that. Okay, so when you're really in community with black people, you would know, never, ever, 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 ever refer to a black woman's hair as crazy anything. So now I realize this is a little bit of objectification, fetish, whatever, but I'm gonna just let the compliment fizzle on out, and he can go get what he needs to get, and he can leave the store. He goes to get whatever he's getting, and then his friend, I don't know, we can call the friend underdeveloped face, because the friend old, but it's like, I don't know if the face didn't finish development at like maybe 7, but everything got old. So UF comes up to us while we are back in our corner discussing books, hype. I'm putting new recommendations in my notes. And that man walks up and says, "Are y'all promiscuous?" I start smiling. I don't know, I think because I'm crazy. So like I got to smile first, right? As my processing face. And she goes, "Promiscuous?" And he was like, "Yeah, like are y'all promiscuous? Do y'all want to get with me and my homeboy?" And I said, "I'm about to cuss you out." He was like, I'm so sorry." You're not sorry. You're embarrassed. What do you mean you walked up on 2 black women minding their business and asked them if they was if I was you wouldn't even meet the qualification, the standard of my wholeness would still be above. You're not. Give me a minute. So after his apology, he does a 180. "No, it's just I'm seasoned." And it's the relativity trope. I think a lot of times we talk about privilege and we don't often talk about audacity. I think a lot of times audacity supersedes privilege, because even the poorest, most raggedy, unqualifiable white man will still have enough audacity to come up to black women and ask them if they. He ain't got no privilege nowhere in his life. He didn't even have the privilege to finish developing his face, but he had the audacity to step up into mine. And I just wanted to share that with y'all. I just say what you may.
Right. That was another video that was going to be added directly in there, but I was like, I'll just leave that directly to the wayside. It's funny that it actually paused right there. That's technically the face, where it's like, yo, this is crazy. Listening to the lady's story, and whenever I think about season, I'm like, okay, so what you mean to tell me is that you've at some point in time was able to get in contact with black women and probably sleep with one, two, maybe three. So you feel that you're seasoned because you got some experience and things of that nature. That's still weird. But again, just like I said in other videos, when they dealt with what was it, the white woman that was online sitting up there making a video talking about this is why black men basically want them. This is within that exact same scope. Like it's weird type of behavior for a white dude to do that, but he's able to do that because more than likely he's been able to do that before. Because I've noticed even online when it deals with let's say some prank videos or dating videos or whatever it is, white boys can say some of the most egregious things, and you will have like black girls out here just like laughing or thinking like that's cute or funny. I'm like, wasn't that disrespectful? I'm like, that what he said was, I'm like, this would be the proper time for you to sit up there and like, get angry and to tell this dude off and cuss him out and all this other stuff. And I'm like, that's not what be happening. Magically, it's some type of like reading Rainbow Sesame Street educational moment where, people gotta, tell people certain things, and then the person gets a second or a third shot at, trying to talk to you like a human being. And I'm like, that's a little bit weird to me. I mean, because they didn't initially talk to you as a respectable, valuable human being from the first go. So I'm like, how do they get a second or a third chance directly at that? And why are you even spending the time to even try to educate them on whatever? I'm like, that's crazy to me. That is 100% diabolical. And then to still give that person your number is even more wild. But like I said, it'd be like that. But going back to this video, yeah, he felt comfortable because he's probably done it before, and that's probably worked. I don't know what else to sit up there and give you. That's the only reason for him to really feel that comfortable, because on at least I'm just going to sit up and say, even going to high school on average, that's not something that I've been able to witness or see. Nothing that I've been able to witness or see. Again, if people are meant to feel comfortable, it's like how you got a lot of the white younger generation feel like they can sit up there and say, certain words because, I grew up around black people. My, the adoptive family is black. Friends are black. Favorite rapper, black. I love black culture. I'm a rapper. Right? They'll list all of these things on why it is that they're able to sit up there and say it, even though they know that you shouldn't be sitting up there saying it. But again, because black people allowed them to be comfortable in a space, now they're just like, I can do whatever it is that I want to sit up here and do. It's crazy work. It's crazy. You got two different types of seasonings, right? You have spicy, and then you got seasoned. That's crazy. Like I said, the terms that people come up with is ridiculous. Tippy was like, I saw a black woman on her knees with a leash around her neck while a white girl had her foot on her back telling her to bark. Oh, yeah. You ain't seen those before, Tippy? Yeah, it's a lot of those. Yeah. You'll see a lot of that stuff. Like, Tippy, I kid you not. If you were to look at different type of sites directly out here where people got profiles, and you were to view the women who are there who are black, you can usually tell, like how when you have a black woman that will sit up there and say like, oh, he probably sits up there and dates black woman. In reverse, you can use that exact same logic as well too, because I've noticed there's a certain type, because again, I'm going to go by the logic that black women normally say about black dudes, right? Not even a voice, but there is just there's a certain type physically. There's a certain type. Well, technically, it's two physically certain types, and it's a specific way that they posture and that they advertise themselves online that will let you know that if they're either interested or have dated or are seeking white guys, their profiles look a certain. You only got to read the profile. You can just look at the pictures that they take. And every single time that I just so happen to just see the pictures, I go directly to the profile and I can sit up there and see. They list primarily that they are looking for white men, and they are in groups where it says black women for white men, or what is it? What's the other terminology that they like to sit up there and use? Or black women for BYC, which is crazy. I'm like, so y'all just coming up with brand new terms now. I'm like, y'all just coming up with terms that we're not even in existence, right? Everybody know what the other term is, right? Everybody know what BBC is, right? So now that's the other term. And then they got other groups such as black women looking for black women looking for white men and white women that love black women. Like I said, you would be shocked and surprised, Tippy. For me, I'm not shocked and surprised because it's been there for so long. I'm not really shocked by it. It's just like we're still doing this. We're still doing this. So, like I said, it's some crazy work out here. It is some crazy work. Crazy work. But what was it? Sham said, I wish somebody would stop. No. Sham, the black girl is letting the white, first of all, because they have that type of dynamic within that relationship, or whatever it is that they're doing. It's not a normal relationship, or as they would call it, it's not a vanilla relationship, right? So that's the type of dynamic that they basically have, and along with other things that they do as well. So pretty much, just imagine if you were to see 50 Shades of Grey, but just put, instead of like a white girl being there, just put a black girl. And then instead of having the white dude there, it was a white woman. That's pretty much what that is, in a sense. Tippy said, or I'm not even going to ask what website you were even on, Tippy, to even see that one as a listing. Jesus. Yo, that's a crazy listing right there, man. And the funny thing is, exactly what Tippy wrote, I promise you, they actually have groups like that. They actually have groups like that. Like that is a crazy listing. That's a crazy listing. But like I said, even like D Money said, he was like, I'm not shocked at all. I'm not either, because when you start to go look online and you look at Google Images, yeah, it's not looking good. It is not looking good in that area at all. And that's another conversation that folks don't want to have. They ain't trying to have that conversation. Like I said, the amount of pictures up there and the amount of writings that people put on their bodies, talking about they're for whites only and everything. Whew, wild work. I'm like, wow, if there was no such thing as a bat signal, that would be the bat signal right there. That's some crazy work, along with writing slurs all over your body. Diabolical work. Crazy work. Tippy said that goes beyond BDSM. Sham said, I can't. My ancestors won't let me picture it. Soon as her white foot would have come towards me, I'm losing. Tippy said, I'm not lying. It's true. D Money said Tippy grew up on a plantation, of course. She's seen things like that. That's crazy. Gail said, I don't even want to venture in that terrain. Yikes. Yeah. That's what I told y'all before. Like, people are like, the moments and times that I didn't have people roll up to this platform saying crazy stuff to me, the amount of shutdown that I could have just placed on the screen just to shut people up, it would have been beautiful. Like I said, they're lucky YouTube is YouTube, because some other platforms out here, oh Lord, it would have been looking like World War IX. It would have been Armageddon and fire. there would have been no coming back. There would have been no type of rebuttals that could even be given. Because like I said before, they got industries built directly off of the type of images I would have put directly up there. They got all whole types of content. And then on top of that, you got black women themselves going out there doing it. Again, nobody wants to talk about that. Even though the previous woman directly in the video, where did she go? Was it? Nope, not her. Nope. Yeah, this one. She wanted to say that black men are disrespectful, this is that and the third and all these other, but you're not going to bring up how disrespectful black women are towards themselves in order to get the likes and the love and the validation and respect from their preference. How it is that they're, willing to, I don't know what the terminology would be, degrade themselves in order to get acknowledged. Huh? Don't want to talk about that. And these are black women that are intelligent, independent, got educations. Yeah, but this is what they do directly online. Crazy work. Diabolical. Diabolical. Tippy said, "Oh gosh, here we go. SEIJIHITO the money on black woman, not mixed or biracial, nothing. He doesn't believe that I'm black, LOL." Look here, Tiffy. I don't know what to tell you. You keep talking about The Rock. You keep talking about Roman Reigns. You talked about Omni-Man. I don't know what to tell you. And then you keep saying the blacks, Tiffy. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, Tippy. So it's looking tough out here for you. It's looking real tough out here for you, Tippy. It's looking real tough, Tippy. But yeah, it's like I said, man. I would love to actually talk about different things in a sense, but as I stated before, this is what specifically people wanted and what people were looking for. They wanted, quote unquote, a villain. They wanted somebody to blame. They wanted somebody, worst of the worst, da 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 da. All you do is talk about black. Fine, so be it. So, like I said, I kept telling people, you will get and receive what it is that you specifically ask for. And no matter how it goes, you got what it is that you wanted. Because when people want to sit up there and be cordial, when people want to sit up there and be nice, when people want to, show, love, respect, and support, they want to, try to put things in a certain, perspective so that things can sit up and get better. People don't want to listen. As taking it from some of the videos directly here, what did they clearly say? That they're not going to heed the words or have the conversations or even try to allow black men to lead them and all this other type of stuff. So this is how we arrived directly to this point. Like I said, there's a variety of other things that could be talked about, could be listed, but we have to sit up there and sit here for a minute and just let things stew. And the funniest thing is that a lot of the folks, and I know they're still there in the background on the channel, a lot of those folks that was, looking for this and wanted this to sit up there and happen, magically they don't got nothing to say. They got everything to say when I'm, giving critiques and I'm saying this and I'm saying that. But now when I'm sitting up there doing this, which is what they always wanted, so they can have something to complain about, nowhere to be found. Well, that's a little bit weird. But yet I promise you, when I make another video and I'm giving some critiques, they'll pull up to the scene like they always do. Wild work. Wild work. This man, Brandon V. World. This man was like, wait, Tippy biracial? LOL. This man is crazy. Tippy was like, he thinks I'm clear or something. You got Brandon V. World. I thought I actually highlighted your comment. Much love, respect, and appreciation for the $2 donate to the channel. This man was like, wait, Tippy biracial? LOL. Tippy said, no, my parents are black, born in the USA, San Francisco. Brandon V. World said, I believe you. I was just being funny. Tippy said they grew up in San Francisco during the civil rights and Black Panthers on the rise. The money said, I don't know what Tippy is, but she ain't black. Maybe multiracial. Tippy said, LOL, I'm black. I don't have a white parent. Oh my God. You guys are hilarious. This man said translucent. I have some diabolical work. That's crazy. Wait, we've been doing this for 3 hours? That's why I don't feel like it though. Does not feel like it though. But we do. Wait, let me make sure before I say that. Wait, can I? Whoa, before I exit out, let me just make sure I got that bookmarked. Yeah, I got that bookmarked. Back here and try to look. Okay, I think, did we put that one up? I think I did post a video about the deadbeat mom situation. I think I did post that, right? All right, dude packs his bags to leave. The guy on the boat. Oh yeah, I was supposed to do the part 2. That's what it was. So that's what I got to make sure to do. So the video I had posted on December 1st about the young dude, I got to post a part 2 to that. I forgot there was, a gap in between that. So I got to make sure to post that and put that up for you guys. The money said adopted. Third Eye said, I feel like Seji was born wearing quarter zip sweaters. The funny thing is, I actually have one of those. My mom actually got me one for one of my birthdays. I got it's like a dark, it's not dark blue, it's like a navy. It's like a mid blue. I don't know what to call it. But I got one of those downstairs. It's actually pretty dope. I like it. But actually, no. Previously, I had a Lions one. I would actually still have that, but all of those clothes again are gone because the house was lost. So all those memories, all of my clothes, sucks. Now the colonizer has claimed all of my gear. Diabolical work. It'd be like that though. But yeah, quarter zips are actually pretty dope, pretty comfortable. Actually pretty great for this weather at this moment in time. So yeah, gotta get some more of those. Gotta get some more. Tip was like, so you saw me tell him I'm black. I just don't like them YNs and YBSs that cause the majority of societal problems. Shan said, I think I'm considered mixed. My dad is Caribbean and my mom is black. The money said, or maybe they got babies mixed up at Tippy's birth. They gave her to the wrong. Tippy said, Sham, you black with salsa in your DNA, LOL. Third Eye said, I'm all for the quarter zip movement. Mahoko, yo, what is up? What is up? What is up? Yeah, quarter zips are actually pretty dope. I like them. It's pretty dope. Pretty dope type of clothing. I mean, for me, I'm more so like old school type of deal. So if you look at like the styles from like, like some 40s, 30s, 40s, type of deal. Or matter of fact, like if you look at like centers, like for me, like that would be the ideal style. That would be like the ideal style. Like if I had the money, that would be, the wear every single day. Looks dope. Makes you feel great every single time you wake up, walk out. You're looking great. Brandon V. World said, bring back the polo backpacks. Wearing movement from the Midwest. Polo backpacks. I never had one of those. I always saw people wearing like the expensive stuff, like the Gucci, the Polo, the Louis, and all that stuff. And I'm like, man, stuff looks nice. Can't afford it though. So I was never in there. So I was like, I'm just good with my N1s and Fubu, Fila, Nike. Matter of fact, let me take it back. I didn't really have a lot of stuff that was like Nike, so I just had whatever brand it was. Probably like no brand stuff. So yeah, be like that. It be like that. D-Money said, I rock cardigans. Tippy said, I like quarter zips, but black men been wearing those, so I don't get the trend. True. Brandon World said, polo shirt, backpack wearing. Tippy said, how about bringing black men wearing fedora hats? Wait, fedoras. I think I remember fedoras. Oh, yeah, okay, I know. That's like, you talking about like some early 2000s maybe? Dealing with like the fedoras? and stuff like that. Gil said, I could see says you on tan quarter zips, navy blue slacks, and hard bottom Stacey Adams taking a school picture. That's crazy. That is some diabolical work there. I don't think I ever had that though. I don't think I ever had that. That would be actually pretty dope. That would actually be pretty dope though. Tippy said, I like the suits black men wore in the 50s and the 60s. Brandon B. World said, I got a fedora hat in my closet. I think you had, didn't you have like I think you had a picture like that or something like that. Or one of y'all, somebody in the group might have had that. Let me see. Third Eye said no to the fedora. D Money said, I got too much hair for a fedora. I mean, you might have to get just like a custom made one then. You might have to get like a Fed. You might have to just leave like the aura, directly to the side, but you can wear the Fed though. D Money said, I got to, fedora is 1930s. No. I'm saying like you had a part of like the 2000s where you had like people like wearing a mixture of like different things from like different eras. That's the one thing that I do love about the 2000s because the fashion was completely mixed and people legitimately had, like their own type of style and whatnot. Unlike today, it's not really any type of individuality, directly in that. Tippy said yes to the fedora, bring back the black mafia look, men in tailored suits and fedora hats. Tippy looking for the what was it, mafia old country, like that's the style that Tippy basically is looking for. Third said, if you're not a 1940s detective, no fedora. Tippy said, y'all remember the suit Dutch wore in Red Dead Redemption 2? Very nice. A lot of people didn't play Red Dead 2, Tippy. Let me just let you know. Said black men on horses. Sham said, yeah, I like mixed fashion. Sham also said, but no shoulder pads. And the fact is stay away and stay gone. Oh, yeah. Women with the shoulder pads, that was a bit weird. But that was like 80s, though. I think you're talking about. Like 80s, early 90s. I don't know why every single dress or whatever had women with shoulder pads, like football players. Like, that was crazy. I don't even know what that was about, but that was a lot of foam. That was a lot of foam that was going into the garbage. I'm glad that fashion has died out. Can stay dead. D Money said Tippy likes pre Jim Crow fashion. That's diabolical work. That is some crazy work. 100%. But yeah, pretty much that is it, guys. We're gonna let you guys pretty much have at it. I'll probably have another video uploaded for you guys, hopefully before 7. So be directly on the lookout for that. Much love, respect, and appreciation for any and all of you guys who are here directly a part of this live stream. Shout out to any of the members. Shout out to anybody who has donated. Shout out to all the patrons. Shout out to all the subscribers. Shout out to all my wonderful, beautiful mods directly out here for everything that you do, both seen and unseen. Again, much love and thank y'all for being with me for the longest duration dealing with this channel. We are currently on our slow way to 50K. Hard work and dedication. Took a lot of years to get here. A lot of years directly to get here, but we are almost there. We had 48,535, almost there. Shout out to the plus 88 people who subscribed directly to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Not sure if they're going to happen to see this live stream or not, but much love. And I will catch you guys in the next video wait, what? The mother was like, this man stay. I call all my black people beautiful. Like I said, I got that from Muhammad Ali. Shout out to Muhammad Ali. R.I.P. And also James Brown. Tippy said, gaming stream. No, Tippy. Sham said, LOL, I'm in Diablo today, but the new season is up next week. Oh, yeah. I think Path of Exile got a brand new season that's supposed to be coming up. Pretty soon, what was it? Path of Exile that I'm waiting for, and one other game. I forgot what it was. Sham said, Third Eye said Fedora equals March on Washington has. That's crazy. That is diabolical. And technically, Tippy, I did slightly have a gaming stream earlier on, but you didn't really see the game or the gameplay. It was just there for a moment because I was like, let me just do this and wait for some of you guys to actually pull up into the live stream. So yeah, we did that. Wait, what? What does it say? Kind of pretty. What are you talking about to me? What? So what are you talking about here, Tippy? What just happened? Tippy said, "Watch Soul Train Good Times." Good Lord, that's why I can't deal with Tippy. Wait, what? Shell was like, I got jumped by a pack of zombies in 7 Days to Die and race. I believe it. Oh man, I 100% believe it. I can just imagine Sham just like playing the game, raging out keyboard warrior style, and then just unplugging everything. Then having to go back and plug it back in. I can see it. Tippy said, never mind. Yeah, of course, Tippy. Of course. Only Tippy every time. But anyways, what was it? Somebody said Hendrix and bell bottoms though. I mean, wasn't that the style of the 70s though? Wasn't everybody wearing bell bottoms and having Coke spoons and and everything? So they say, I could have sworn that was like the thing. Man said fedoras equal bus boycott. That's crazy. I mean, they got fedoras down there in Miami in Cuba, so you know. What did Tippy say? Said watch a sap for the sun while eating fried chicken and having an uppity time. That is crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, I catch you in the live stream. See, I get your in order and order some food. Peace out.